This is Atomic Shinobi and today I'm going to narrate second part of What If Naruto Saves Haku in Land of Waves. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Now wasting no time, let's start the story.
Last day for training and then it's payback time for Neji Hyuga. But first, Naruto was thinking. Naruto, dressed in an ice blue shirt, navy blue pants, and black dress shoes, said to himself as he looked in the mirror, time to go on a date today. The Jinchuriki then caught a glimpse of movement out of the corner of his eye and realized that Haku was getting ready to go. Her bangs framed the sides of her face, and her hair was down. When Naruto first met her in the forest, or, if you include the first battle with Zabuza, the second, she was wearing the pink kimono. Naruto said, "Beautiful as ever." Must you say that every time we go out?" Haku asked, blushing and turning away from Naruto for a moment. The boy said with ease, "Yes, because it is true." Haku's blush increased even more as a result of the response. "Smooth, Naruto. Very smooth," Kyuubi uttered. "Yes, I do have a way with words, don't I?" Naruto remarked. The fox responded, "You certainly do, young kid. Now get going. We can't keep Anko and Iruka waiting, can we?" With Haku at his side, the Jinchuriki strode out of the house after giving a mental nod. Iruka was standing anxiously as they approached Yakiniki-Q, a restaurant that Choji strongly suggested. Naruto yelled, "Hey there, Iruka, sensei." Iruka replied, "Oh, Naruto. How are you and who is your lovely friend?" Haku raised his eyebrows. "I am Haku Momochi, you must be Iruka Amino. Naruto.kun has told me so much about you." "He has?" Iruka said, blushing slightly. Naruto smiled at him, "Of course, after all you were one of the ones that taught me a lot about life." Iruka replied, "Thanks for the compliment despite you never pay attention in class." "Not my fault," retorted Naruto, "your lectures are boring as hell, sensei." Glaring at him, Iruka mockingly said, "My lectures are not boring." Naruto laughed. "Tell that to the rest of the class. Anyway, what you were waiting for?" "Well, like you guys, I am on a date as well," Iruka said, flushed. "Oh, pray tell who the lucky girl is," said Naruto, pretending to be surprised. Anko Mitarashi," murmured Iruka. Raising an eyebrow, Naruto asked, "The proctor for the second exam?" Iruka replied, "Yeah, despite the fact that she is a bit eccentric, she is a lot like you, Naruto." "How so?" "She wears a mask just like you did a long time ago. You stopped using it when you found Haku-chan." Haku said, "Well, since we are here, Naruto.kun. We can have a double date with Iruka.san and Anko.san." At that moment, they heard Anko's voice calling out to them, "Hey, Naruto, Iruka.kun." Iruka turned, and the Chunin schoolteacher's mouth fell open, much to the amusement of Naruto and Haku. Anko's honey yellow dress was the ideal match for her eyes. The modest, strapless dress stood in stark contrast to Anko's disposition. She, too, had on black heels. "Iruka.san, you can close your mouth. You're letting flies in." "Hello. Iruka.kun. How'd I look?" Anko said. "According to Iruka, why? You look beautiful, Anko.san." Smirking, Naruto said, translation, "You look smoking hot, sensei." She giggled. "I think I could tell from the stuttering in his mouth that is still open." "Well, shall we go inside?" Iruka asked, closing his mouth and blushing appropriately. After greeting their esteemed dates with the crook of their arms, Naruto and Iruka entered the eatery. A voice asked, "Naruto? Iruka? Sensei?" Iruka asked, "Choji? You work here?" as they turned to see Choji wearing a waiter's suit. Choji replied, "Yeah, I work here occasionally." Naruto responded, "Not surprising considering how much food you consume on a daily basis. Of course, you would work in a restaurant." As Choji led them to a table for four, the men seated their ladies first before taking their seats. Choji grinned and said, "You know me too well, Naruto. Now welcome to Yakiniki-Q, the best barbecue restaurant. I will be your waiter for this evening. Let's get you seated." "Now ladies first, so Haku.san, what will you have for tonight?" Choji said, taking out a notepad. "I'll have katsudon with a side of yakitori and gyokuro to drink, please," Haku said after taking a moment to study the menu. Anko replied, "I will have some onigiri and red bean soup with a side of dango and sake to drink." Iruka said, "I would like to have an order of kamameshi with a side of anpan and green tea to drink. I would like some hayashi rice with a side of teriyaki and to drink, some amazake," Naruto said courteously. Choji gave a nod. "Okay, your orders will be here shortly, one moment please." Following Choji's departure to collect their orders, Iruka said, "So Naruto, tell me about your training. I know that you are getting stronger than ever before." Replied, "I am getting stronger. Learning wind manipulation from Asuma. Sensei and torture techniques from Anko. Sensei and Ibiki. Sensei. Also I am doing my own training as well." She laughed, "Don't worry, Iruka, Naruto will be fine under my wing." "Let's hope he doesn't have your habits," Iruka said with a laugh. Anko gave Iruka a playful punch, saying, "Hey, I am a great teacher. At least I am not boring in my lectures as he says." Haku giggled as Iruka glared at Naruto, who rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Anko replied, "So who are you, miss?" Haku responded, "I am Haku Momochi, Naruto's girlfriend. I used to be with my father, Zabuza Momochi, until I met Naruto on a mission." Anko replied, "I see. So you work in the hospital, correct?" "Yes," confirmed Haku, "I want to be a combat medic." Anko laughed. "Good, because I think that Naruto will be needing you a lot." "This is Naruto." "Hey, I am right here, you know." "It was meant to be heard, Gaki," shot back Anko. "Plus you tend to be a bit accident-prone," Iruka remarked. The four of them started discussing their everyday activities after Naruto pouted. Choji then returned with their orders and let them finish their meal. They chuckled as they compared Naruto's past antics to Iruka's, who used to play practical jokes. "Anko, can I ask you something?" Iruka said. "Sure, what is it, Iruka?" Anko asked, glancing at Iruka. The Chunin responded, "Why me? I mean there are other guys in the village that you could have, but why me?" Anko briefly glanced down before turning back to face her date. Iruka peered into her eyes to see who she really was. Eyes full of unfathomable pain and loneliness. Softly responding, "That is because I don't believe there are any guys that would even associate with me. Most of them just want a quickie from me, but you, Iruka.kun, I think you are a great person to be around with. When I first interacted with you, you didn't flinch because of my mask." Iruka replied, "To tell you the truth, you did scare me a bit, but I caught a glimpse of your real self when that idiot Jiro chose that time to be an ass." "But, who is Jiro?" asked Naruto. Iruka responded, "He was one of my classmates back in my days at the academy. He is a Jonin now, but he is always arrogant and smug. When I, Anko and he were on a mission, we were both Chunin at that time. We messed up one of the tags, causing a man to get injured. Immediately Jiro berated Anko for the casualty and insulted her, claiming that she was a spy for Orochimaru and trying to sabotage Konoha's standing with its missions." "And then what happened?" asked Haku. Anko replied, "Easy, I yelled back at him and ran off in the woods for a while to blow off some steam. Then I started crying and Iruka eventually was the one that found me." The Chunin replied, "I knew that you were crying, even when you said that you weren't." Then she said, "Well, all that people have seen was the tough Anko. I couldn't let that lil slip up get out to the public, so someone could try to hurt me." Iruka responded, "Jiro was a bastard to insult you, Anko. I think that you are a great person despite your previous affiliation with Orochimaru." Naruto and Haku laughed a little as Anko turned away from Iruka and blushed a little. Naruto remarked, "Wow, Anko. Sensei reminds me of a certain Hyuga." "So you noticed finally, Naruto?" asked Iruka. The young man replied, "No, I knew in my third year at the academy that she had a crush on me, but the Hyuga clan is royalty and I would have been considered as a commoner in their eyes. Well, most of them. So to protect her, I pretended to like Sakura." Iruka replied, "And just when I thought I figured your mask out, you pull this. You are a true ninja, Naruto." Grinning, Naruto continued, "The best, Iruka, sensei." Thus, after conversing in the restaurant for 2 hours, they concluded. After attacking Iruka's lips in front of Naruto and Haku, Anko was escorted back to her home, causing the younger couple to grin. After that, Iruka was essentially gaping like a fish. "Naruto.kun, that was a great date," Haku remarked. Naruto replied, "Yeah, it was, but I am afraid that it is missing something." "What?" the Hyuga user inquired. "This," Naruto whispered as he stroked her cheek, pulled her face to his, and planted a kiss on her. As Naruto placed his hands lightly on the brown-haired Jinchuriki's waist, Haku instinctively wrapped her arms around her neck. They continued their makeout session inside the Uzumaki residence for a considerable amount of time after Naruto remarked, Vanilla flavored, new lip gloss?" Haku laughed and replied, "Yes." Naruto added, "Do me a favor and wear it more often." As usual, Naruto woke up the following morning with Haku on top of his chest. The ice user opened her brown dough, like eyes to meet Naruto's cerulean eyes and said, "Haku, wake up. Time to go." Haku mumbled drowsily, Naruto-kun. "It's time for me to become a chunin," declared Naruto. Haku replied, "Right, I will be at the hospital taking care of Hinata." The Jinchuriki responded, "Good, but stay there. I believe that Orochimaru might try something at the stadium and I don't want you to get hurt." Haku replied, "Fine, Naruto-kun. But I will be sending a Hyo Bunshin to watch the match, so I can relay the results to Hinata-chan." "Alright, I will see you later. Haku-chan." The Jinchuriki left the house and headed directly to the arena. Everyone was present, with the exception of Dosu Kinuta, the Oto Genin, and Sasuke Uchiha. "Where's that Dosu guy and Sasuke?" Shikamaru asked, glancing elsewhere. She said, "Stop looking around, face the customers, in this main tournament, you guys are the stars." Sarutobi laughed and then got up. "Thank you, everyone for coming to Konoha's Chunin exams. We will now start the main tournament matches between the 8 participants who made it through the preliminaries. Please stay and watch until the end." "If it's 8, then one seems to be missing," the Kazekage remarked. "There are some minor changes to the tournament, so check again who you were fighting," Genma said, pulling out a piece of paper as Sarutobi remained silent. "Look at this before the matches." Everyone looked at the matches to see that they were even. "Did that Dosu guy forfeit? I had an extra match," Shikamaru thought. As Gaara waited expectantly, his hand started to twitch. "All right, so this is the finals. The rules from the preliminary round are still in effect, but the secrecy is different," Genma said. "Will Neji Hyuga and Naruto Uzumaki now take the stage?" Naruto was standing in front of Neji, glaring at him as he stepped forward with a smug expression on his face. Azumo said, "Hey, ain't that?" to his friend Katetsu Hagane. Katetsu replied, "Yeah, he has changed a lot over the past few months. I heard that he kicked the heir of the Inuzuka clan's ass without breaking a sweat." Azumo said, "You mean?" to his friend, Katetsu murmured, "But for the kid to get this far." "Yeah, for guys that got far by luck, this is the end of the line," Azumo said with a nod of agreement. "Naruto's opponent is just too tough for him," Katetsu stated. Smirking, Azumo remarked, "He can't beat the Hyuga clan. That should be me down there, but I am stuck in the stands, watching with my mother and sister acting as my probation officers," Kiba thought, gritting her teeth. "For heaven's sake, I am a fucking girl because of Uzumaki, damn you." "Now for the first match. Begin," yelled Genma. "HMPH, you look like you want to say something," Neji replied. "You know," Naruto retorted, "I actually published a book in a month. Do you want to know what it is? Apparently, it is a bestseller in Kumogakure." Naruto pulled out a book and tossed it at his feet. Neji used his Byakugan to look down and saw that it was titled, "How Many Ways to Kill a Hyuga." As he read another copy of his book, Naruto said, "Now the question is which one to use on you." Neji frowned at this. "Oh, I sent Kumo a favor to get their opinion. You know what they suggested I do. Since the Hyuga are so proud of their bloodline." "Well, almost all of the Hyuga," Neji snarled, and Naruto grinned. "You can refer to page 1. Abomination for the man's suggested blinding." "Are you going to fight or just stand there?" Neji asked. Neji attacked Naruto, but the boy sidestepped and reprimanded him, saying, "How rude. I was in the middle of explaining something to you." Naruto read aloud, ignoring his opponent, Abomination, a method of torture in which the victim of choice is blinded using a hot metal. As I mentioned earlier, a hot metal plate that has been heated to 130 degrees Fahrenheit is applied gradually to the optical area to blind the victim. The torturer can remove the plate and reapply it at random times, causing the victim to scream in agony. "Shut up and fight me," yelled Neji. Next page, blinding with light. When dealing with bloodlines such as the Byakugan, there is a pressure point that can activate it for a few hours. At that time, if you turned on the light at that exact moment, the person is temporarily blinded and the retinas are seared in pain for a few minutes. Neji moved against the boy, who simply avoided and blocked the attacks with one hand. According to Neji, "I said fight me, Uzumaki. Rat torture, this is one of my favorite. Did you know that if you put a Hyuga's head in a tight spot with a rat and then heat the area, the rat will chew its way out?" Naruto sneered at him, angering the man. Neji pictured the torture in his mind, and the majority of the Hyuga clan shuddered at Naruto's monotone voice. This could potentially gouge the Hyuga's eyes out of their socket, making it useless. "You can also have the rat eat the human's intestines by pressing a bucket on the human's stomach and then using a small Kaden jutsu to get the rat to react," the Jinchuriki said. "Do you want to view a photo?" After flashing a picture in front of Neji's face, which depicted a renegade ninja in one of Konoha's prison cells who had been tortured, Naruto punched Neji in the face, causing the Hyuga to keel back, and then swept him off his feet. Neji's face turned slightly green. Naruto said, "Now this one is my favorite, this is one that I enjoy the most using in my opinion." Electrocution. The Jinchuriki briefly flipped the book in the air while he flipped through hand signs. Ibiki. Sensei taught me this one. He hardly uses it because he prefers to use his mind and words. Raiden. Hiraishin. Naruto showed up next to Neji and touched him. As arcs of lightning chakra spread across his body, Neji screamed in agony as the lightning continued to flow through his body, and Naruto retreated as he maintained the current. As he watched Neji roll around in pain, Naruto interrupted the jutsu and said, "Ah, good, my favorite, you know, I am getting addicted to this," ignoring him and catching the book in the air. Hell, I ought to work part-time in the torture and interrogation division. I can see how this would excite Anko and Ibiki. Hell, I could be the division's commanding officer in Hokage. Neji.kun, what do you think? Naruto grinned and said, "I'll take that as a yes," as Neji moaned in agony. In any case, kneecapping is a malevolent kind of torture in which the kneecap region is injured by a projectile of some kind or by a forceful senbon stab. While saying this, Naruto extended his hand and conjured up an ice senbon. Naruto said, "Are you surprised that I have a bloodline?" As Neji's eyes grew wide. "It is known as the Hyoden. Using my chakra natures of wind and water, I can control ice. Although I have no affinity for Raiden. Hiraishin, I had to train for a week and a half to master it, which is the only reason I can perform it. However, this does not imply that I am incapable of learning the jutsu." As the Hyuga clutched his left kneecap and screamed in agony, Naruto skillfully threw the senbon, piercing it. Now, the patella bone is not damaged at all when a victim is subjugated to kneecapping, but there are damages to the soft tissues, which include nerves and arteries, Naruto explained. "I hate to say it, but you are a valuable member of the village, so don't worry, I made sure you wouldn't die on me. Though I could be killed by the Hyuga clan, the council would first attempt to obtain my sperm and impregnate multiple women, which will never happen. If you were worthless like my pink-haired teammate, I would have cut you down to size. Let's move on to hamstringing. I can't use this one, but I'll explain. I essentially cut the back of the tendons, which rendered the person incapable of walking, standing, or even running normally." Neji fought to stand up and said, "What kind of bullshit are you saying? You should be engaged in combat." "Yeah, but I am," Naruto remarked. "This is a battle of cunning as well as strength. I am simultaneously winning a battle of strength and wits, while you are attempting to win a battle of strength." When Neji attempted to attack the boy, Naruto snatched his wrist and put pressure on his collarbone, causing him to kneel down in excruciating pain. Naruto grinned and said, "On your knees, I want you to beg for forgiveness." Now, this is another method of torture, the most famous and ever useful pressure points, Neji said, trembling at the tone of Naruto's voice. There are now points that can result in hyperextension, blood pressure fluctuations, energy loss, bone fractures, concussions, and, above all, pain. For example, putting pressure on your collarbone causes you to drop to your knees. Next. Neji jumped up in the air as Naruto moved to the spot where the neck and ear join, saying, "While pressure to that area causes you to stand, pressure to the shoulder causes you to move back. That move causes you to twist around and away from the pain." Neji retreated, but Naruto approached him again and said, "Now, a blow, let's say an elbow or a fist," after pressing the point to his shoulder and jabbing him in the abdomen. Neji was forced to kneel on the ground, gasping for air, as the Jinchuriki struck his fist to the solar plexus. "Now, if I had hit any harder, I would have knocked you out, but I want you to suffer a little longer," the Jinchuriki said. "Now, you will be extremely uncomfortable if I put pressure on your temple, nose, or testicles, if you have any." Neji screamed in agony as Naruto grabbed and pressed on her nose and temple, saying, "Yes. Scream for me, bitch." The audience cringed at the cruelty as Neji screamed in agony. Neji then rolled on the ground after Naruto kicked him in the chest. It's a good thing Hinata isn't watching this. This is another torture technique that goes back to the end of time, but first. Ninpo. Genwahi no Jutsu. After being blinded by a chakra flash, Neji opened his eyes to find himself pressed up against the wall, with kunai stabbed into his feet and wrists. Naruto remarked, "The Romans tried to kill Kami's son, Jesus, by crucifixion. Doesn't that hurt? You see, your wrists are under stress from your entire body weight due to the kunai in your body, which forces you to expend more energy to support yourself. You know what that means? If that doesn't kill you, the blood loss from your wrists and feet will weaken you, and then you'll get an infection, sepsis, and dehydration before slowly dying from asphyxiation. You pass away, giving you the impression that you have been strangled or smothered. We will play the weighing game, and I can leave you for hours before you die. Oh, and don't even try to dispel this genjutsu. It takes a lot of chakra to do so and overwhelm the user. Needless to say, Neji Hyuga, I have more chakra than you do. This should somewhat appease me because I get to act as though you pass away. Hinata is extremely appreciative that I allowed you to survive, and you get to feel the suffering that Hinata did. You, bastard, Neji said, gritting his teeth. According to Naruto, a bastard is a child that is born to parents that have never been married. My parents were married in secret only in presence of the Hokage and my godfather, whose name I will not reveal at this moment, and I think that another hour should hold your tongue. Hours later, while Naruto drank some juice below him, Neji was slowly in excruciating pain, his mouth dry, and he was perspiring profusely. Thirsty, Neji. That's what blood loss usually does to you. Panting, Neji said, fuck. You, no, Neji-san. I prefer women in that situation, Naruto remarked. So that we can move on to the next stage, hurry up and die. He is just like Ibiki and Anko, with a little bit of himself mixed in, Sarutobi thought. To believe that he can construct a character that is so dissimilar from himself. That persona, the librarian, contains all of the repressed rage and frustration. It struck the cage. I like this kid, he is almost as sadistic as me. This kid is interesting, Azumo remarked. He essentially used psychological torture to beat the Hyuga, followed by genjutsu to subdue him and ninjutsu to inflict pain. Naruto might have won this battle if things continue this way. I agree, we seriously underestimated this kid, Katetsu said, echoing his friend. To believe that he could make a stoic Hyuga lose control of his feelings. Finally he dies, Kai, Naruto said. Neji gasped and dropped to his knees. Over the top of his book, Naruto gazed up at him and said, oh, you're still awake. How was your mental state when you were dying? Neji replied, you are going to die slowly and painfully, Uzumaki. In response, Naruto said, really? You're going to die slowly, Neji said. Regretfully, Hinata. Sama will not witness your passing. She will be devastated, and I will grin as she weeps over your tomb. Now you see, that is a bit of a problem. For you, I mean, Naruto said. First of all, I have barely perspired, so I won't die, and second, I'm going to kick your ass up and down this arena for that remark. Hyuga pussy, get ready to be ass raped. As he slid into a stance, Neji exclaimed, Hake. Rokuhuion show. Naruto raised his eyebrows and replied, ah, the famous ultimate technique of the Hyuga, but I thought that was only for the main house to use, unless you were able to recreate the move on your own. Attacking him, Neji said, 2 palms. As the Jinchuriki sidestepped his blows, Neji grimaced and said, 4 palms. A smirk came to Naruto's face as Neji yelled, 8 palms. Neji became irate as Naruto began to dodge while closing his eyes. 16 palms, 32 palms, 64 palms. Neji was stunned when Naruto grabbed his hands, saying, W. What? It's my turn. Smiled the Jinchuriki. Neji grunted in agony after the Hyuga Jinchuriki kneed him in the stomach and then gave him an uppercut that caused the boy to flip in midair, but Naruto gave him the opportunity and punched him away. Time to repay for the damage you did to Hinata. The Jinchuriki took his time, beating the shit out of the angsty Hyuga, and as the crowd watched in complete silence and winced as Naruto's blows landed on Neji, Neji stood up only to have Naruto appear in his face with a murderous look in his eye. It turned out that Neji's ass was on fire for some reason, and he saw Naruto holding a hot poker that was still glowing with the label, property of Uzumaki. Neji was thrown face down on the ground and soon after, he was screaming uncontrollably. What the devil? Branding is a special kind of torture, but it is only applied to animals. That mark will now hurt for 3 to 5 weeks. Naruto remarked, no, you stand down, as Neji fought to stand up from the intense agony. Neji clutched his side as Naruto delivered a flying kick to his face. Hey, Neji, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? Naruto sped to peer behind Neji and smashed his fist into his side after sending an elbow to Neji's jaw and then lifting his left leg to kick Neji in the chest. Naruto asked. Neji looked up as Naruto answered him with a backhand slap. Slap. The Jinchuriki yelled. Naruto said, come on, pussy, get up, as Neji twisted into the air and then fell hard to the ground. Neji's pride made him stand, which allowed Naruto to kick Neji's ass hard into the ground. I dare you to get up. As Naruto delivered each punch and kick, Neji's head would frequently jerk in all directions. Naruto exclaimed, You know what, Neji? Naruto grinned and remarked, you should have had a V8. Neji looked up and was struck in the face, sending the Hyuga flying into the wall. When Neji fell to the ground, his body hurt and felt like it was on fire. Naruto was aware that some of his bones were broken, but he was satisfied that all 206 of Neji's bones were at least fractured or broken, which was enough to end Neji's suffering. Neji Hyuga, you were renowned as a natural genius, the Jinchuriki said as they approached Neji. When you were 4 years old, Hinata turned 3, and Cloud sent an ambassador to negotiate a treaty. The ambassador also had a mission to apprehend a member of the main family. It was at this time that you were marked with the caged bird seal. Hinata was the most defenseless, and Heishi killed him with a single blow before he could flee. When Kumo learned of it, they said they had nothing to do with it and had demanded Hiashi's body as payment. Since your father, Hisashi Hyuga, physically resembled your father, the Hyuga elders and your father decided that Hisashi would die in Hiashi's place in order to prevent war and protect the Byakugan from Kumo's hands. The Hyuga agreed to this in order to prevent war, but there was a slight change in the plan. You became resentful because you thought your father was forced to die by the main family. This idea led you to think that fate was a hoax, and your resentment of the main branch grew. You graduated as the Rookie of the Year 8 years later, and Guy eventually discussed your resentment of the main branch with you as well. What are you trying to say? I am getting to that. I happen to find out that the current Raikage owes my mother a favor. I call that favor in as her son. I requested your father's body to be escorted back to Konoha in 3 days' time. Naruto stated, the current Raikage believed that the Sandaime Raikage was a fool to try and take the Byakugan, which shocked Heishi and Neji. Bloodlines, in his opinion, are not necessary for demonstrating strength. A ninja can only become strong through bravery and perseverance. He assured me that the body was undamaged and still preserved. So, why did you help me out like this? As much as I would like to murder you right now, your cousin Hinata Hyuga, whom you attempted to murder, is the only thing stopping me. Yes, the individual you hold responsible for your father's demise is also the one preventing you from suffering the same fate. Hinata. Did you forget me? Isn't that shocking? After that, you have no idea how angry I was. Hell, Tenten, your teammate, was practically pleading with me to spare you before that. The story about your father was also told to me by her. I'm going to say the same thing I told her again now. Uzumaki. What would that statement be? The Hyuga clan would vanish, much like the Uchiha clan, if your father had to choose between sacrificing his life to save his son and brother or letting his brother die while wearing the caged bird seal on his forehead. Throughout his life, your father was never able to make up his mind. I believe that although he detested the Hyuga clan for their enslavement, his love for his family outweighed this hatred. He made the decision to pass away for his family rather than the Hyuga clan. For a brief moment, Neji remained silent as he considered what Naruto had said while he was on the ground. It made sense. His father had discovered that freedom by dying, but he also did it for a reason, to save his family. Now, Neji, as soon as you feel better, I'll expect you to apologize to Hinata. Oh, and don't keep a woman waiting if you want to pay me back for returning your father's body. Instead, take Tenten out on a date. If you haven't noticed, I told you that she did everything in her power to convince me to spare your life. She does care about you. As he turned to head back upstairs, the boy said to Neji, and Neji, please lighten up and get that stoic stick out of your ass. In actuality, the entire Hyuga clan needs to relax. Perhaps this is the cause of their extreme paranoia regarding the Byakugan. While Hanabi was somewhat incensed at the Jinchuriki, Heishi chuckled slightly at Naruto's statement. She yelled, winner. Uzumaki Naruto. The girl instantly started to heal Neji after Naruto called out, Haku, can you take care of Neji? Naruto.kun. You need to hold back next time. Almost all of his bones are fractured and fortunately a few were broken. His head was the only item you managed to keep intact. I told you. I was going to make him pay, he said, scratching the back of his head. I had originally intended to amputate his toes, so at least he is not missing a limb. Note to self. Never try to kill any of Naruto. Sans friends or he will become very sadistic, Neji thought, a drop of sweat forming behind his head. After Neji was cleared, Naruto turned to face Gaara, who returned his gaze. The Jinchuriki pointed at the redhead and said, you're next, Sabaku no Gaara. Tamari and Kankuro were startled by Naruto calling him on, but their surprise took a turn for the worse when they turned to face Gaara because the Ichibi no Shukaku's Jinchuriki was grinning at Gaara of the desert. Uzumaki, if Uchiha can't acknowledge my own existence, you will be the next one to do so, he whispered. Genma yelled, Uchiha Sasuke versus Sabaku no Gaara is the next match. Will both competitors please step forward? As the eagerly awaited match was about to begin, the crowd became agitated until a Jonin approached Genma to speak with him. This match will now take place at the conclusion of the first round because Sasuke Uchiha is not present at this time. Will Natsumi and Aburame Shino please descend now? Shino used his Aburame style Shunshin, while Natsumi used a specialized flame Shunshin. Alright, let's get started. Natsumi used her burning touch jutsu and charged at Shino, but the Aburame braced himself for her attack as Genma spoke loudly. Hijutsu. Jutsu no Mushi came. Natsumi yelled, Kandangan, as the Kakaichu sprang out of his sleeves quickly and circled around his persona to converge into a spinning sphere. With a loud boom, she fired a shot at Shino's bug sphere, causing fire to spread throughout the surrounding area. After waiting for the smoke to clear and reveal a massive hole in the sphere, Natsumi became tense and a hand suddenly emerged from the ground to seize her ankle. Doden. Shinju Zanshu no Jutsu. Shino appeared behind Natsumi as she was pulled into the ground. You performed a Mushi Bunshin and used it right away, then you waited until I fired my technique by using Doden. Dochu Aigyo no Jutsu. Aburame.san, that's impressive, but don't assume I'm finished yet. I wouldn't think so, considering you are an enigma to me, Shino said in a monotone. It is logically bad to underestimate you, Natsumi, because you didn't show much at the preliminary round. The girl grinned and said, yes, it takes much more to bring me down. Then a pillar of fire exploded from Natsumi's position, releasing her from her earthly prison and making Shino leap back from the intense heat. Smell the heat. Mayaku Heki. With the fire encircling her in a sphere, Natsumi hovered in midair, curling into a ball before quickly spreading her arms and legs wide, sending the flames out of her body in a ring. She has unbelievable control over manipulating Kaden, Naruto thought. Is it a limit of her bloodline or does she possess an unnatural affinity for fire? Natsumi said, this is my bloodline, dancing flames, as though she could read Naruto's thoughts. My clan was given the ability to save lives long ago by the Phoenix. Regretfully, I am the last of my clan because they were corrupted by greed and consumed from within by the holy fire. For the Aburame, I see, let's go on now. Urashi Nenshu. She gathered up her flames into a compressed ball and casted her hands in typical Kamehameha fashion towards the Aburame air, but Shino flipped through hand signs quickly, Doden. Doryuheki. As he placed his back against the wall, Shino thought, she is good with her bloodline. I can't get close to her or fight with her at long range with my Kakaichu or my weapons. A wall of earth appeared to block the flames. I have to approach her and confront her closely. Natsumi's hand suddenly exploded through the wall next to Shino's head, momentarily startling him and forcing him to make the Tori hand signal, Doden. Doryuso. When Natsumi saw Shino staring up at her from his position, she leapt into the air to avoid the earth spikes that threatened to spear her from the ground. A shadow then materialized above her. What? Hijutsu. Yari no Kakaichu. Natsumi coughed up blood, and the Kakaichu encircled her body as the Kakaichu that surrounded his hand converged into a spear and the bug weapon impaled her through the torso. Shino yelled. Finally I got you in my clutches, Shino said, there is no escape, as she fell to the ground, and the Shino by the wall turned into destruction bugs to converge on her and soften her fall. Then he thought, that was close, considering that I did 2 B rank jutsu in succession, thank the Yondaime for his chakra storage seals. Then the bug coffin started to smoke and burst into a huge flare, sending the Aburame air flying into the wall. Natsumi panted as she said, well, that was lucky of me. Shino thought to himself, impossible, my Kakaichu should have eaten her chakra in seconds. You would have won if I hadn't used my solar flare technique to get those tiny creatures off of me. Replied, I would have, but with over half of my colony destroyed, I can't risk my colony being killed. I can't seem to win this battle, Proctor, I forfeit this match. After giving a nod, Genma stated, Shosha by forfeit, Natsumi of Takigakure. Shino gave Natsumi a solider pill as she collapsed to her knees, panting, and she ate it while mumbling her gratitude before Shino assisted her in climbing the stairs. Senbon protruded from the side of Genma's mouth as he asked, now will Shikamaru Nara and Sabaku no Tamari please come down? After a moment of staring at Gaara, Tamari turned to look at the private cage booth. Naruto pondered, Tamari.san seems to be nervous about something and it involves Sasuke and the appearance of Orochimaru. She was so confident when she faced off with Tenten. Tamari sighed and swung her fan open before plummeting to the ground. Genma replied, well, you're eager. Oi, Shikamaru, get down here. What the hell? My match is now, man, maybe I should forfeit, Shikamaru thought. Shikamaru fell unceremoniously to the ground after Naruto abruptly kicked him over the railing. I am kicking your ass whenever I see you, Naruto, Shikamaru uttered. Tamari responded, come on. Get up. Are you going to just lie down all day? I got stuck with a girl again? Shikamaru thought. If you won't come, then I will, Tamari yelled at him. Hey, the match hasn't started, exclaimed Genma. The indolent boy swiftly removed 2 kunai and embedded them in the wall behind him, but Tamari ignored him and slammed the iron fan onto Shikamaru. I hate to fight and I don't care about being Chunin, but I can't stand losing to a woman. So I'll guess I will take you on. Shikamaru grinned as he stood atop the kunai with his hands in his pockets. You know, she said. With a sly smile, Tamari blew a wind strike at him while opening her fan. Tamari glanced at the smoke billowing and said, well, he's great at running. Naruto smirked and shook his head. No, Shikamaru may be lazy, but he hides his potential. He is able to think ahead at every possible situation and make strategical moves against his opponents, but most likely he is going to win, but quit. Tamari pondered, okay, he is a ninja that uses shadows and probably trying to lure me into the trees, like I will fall for that. The lazy Shikamaru thought, oh man, those clouds are lucky, so free. I really don't feel like doing this. I just became a ninja so I wouldn't be bothering, but I suppose, that things are not that simple. What the hell? Is he mocking me with that smile of his? Tamari asked herself. The wind blew hard in the arena as she yelled, Ninpo. Kamaitachi no jutsu. While swinging her fan. Tenten pondered, that move was the one that knocked me out cold. Shikamaru has his hands full. A line of shadows suddenly materialized, speeding toward Tamari, who hurried back until the shadow began to fade. Hey, there is a limit to how much you can shrink, stretch or change your shadow, isn't there? You can't stretch it any further than your normal shadow's surface area no matter how you change it. Laughing, Shikamaru said, that's right. Tamari then shut down her fan and measured the distance, 15 meters and 32 centimeters. He can use other shadows, but he can't control them, so he is using the shaded area to increase his length. But unfortunately, no matter if he goes to the edge, the length will be the same. Kankuro replied, Tamari is better at long range fighting. This match is over. With a smile, Naruto said, nope, not yet. Shikamaru lowered himself into his contemplative position. Said Naruto, even though his grades were as bad as mine, he often said that he was too lazy to pick up his pencil to write, but he loves to play shogi a lot. Whenever he gets in a tight spot, he assumes that pose. His sensei Asuma gave him an IQ test in shogi form and found out that his IQ is over 200, he is a freaking genius. According to Kankuro, so he might win, not quit. We shall see, he is out of his pose now, Naruto replied. So it looks like you are finally getting serious now. Ninpo. Kamaitachi, Tamari remarked as Shikamaru ducked under the trees and removed his shirt. It is no use trying to hide. Stop running or give up. Tamari ducked as 2 kunai were suddenly thrown, only to get caught in the path of another. A series of explosions sounded in front of and behind her as she used her fan to block it. He attached explosive tags. She was thinking, he is trying to distract me. Then Shikamaru's shadow appeared and began to move. Nice try, but your shadow can't pass this line. Wait, hold on. Ah, shit. Tamari thought. The shadow did, in fact, cross the line, causing the wind user to leap backwards once more. I see, she said, you used those kunai as distractions to keep me occupied while the sun moves, giving me more leverage. This should be your limit now. Kankuro cried out, Tamari, above you, while Shikamaru remained silent and stared at her. When she looked up, she saw a kunai fastened to the bottom of Shikamaru's shirt, which was used as a makeshift parachute. As she avoided the encroaching shadow, Tamari swore, son of a. Shikamaru proclaimed, you will not escape. Tamari was thinking as she moved, impressive, using the kunai to distract me from his shadow and then using his shadow to distract me from looking up and noticing the parachute. But it's clear to me now. I need to finish this quickly. His shadow will move farther as the sun moves, so I will use Bunshin no Jutsu, which will draw his attention to it. Then I will jump out and use all my chakra into the strongest possible Kamaitachi to rip him apart. Tamari thought, initiating attack. Bunshin no, as the shadow paused and slowly moved away. What? I'm frozen, she thought as she suddenly froze. With his hands spread wide, Shikamaru exclaimed, finally, Kagemain no Jutsu success. Tamari responded, but your shadow was nowhere near me, how did you get me? According to Shikamaru, I let you look behind you. He turned his head and Tamari, who was enchanted by his jutsu, followed suit. When Tamari noticed a hole behind her and realized that his shadow was indeed joining hers, Her eyes widened. When you used the Kamaitachi jutsu, you loosed some of the gravel in where Neji was at. Thus I used those kunai wrapped with an explosive tag with a little extra kick, making a hole in front and the back of you. The two made a tunnel and then I lured you over to this spot with all of those distractions and failed successions like my little puppet. Checkmate, said Shikamaru as Tamari clenched her teeth. Wait for it, said Naruto. Go, Ino yelled. Shikamaru and Tamari approached each other while Choji munched frantically. They both raised their hands when the shadow wielder declared, "That's it, I quit." Huh? Ino asked. Shikamaru replied, "Those failed successions used up my chakra. I had thought up over 200 moves and I'm getting tired of this. One match is enough for me. Plus I can only hold you for about 5 more minutes." Winner. Sabaku no Tamari, exclaimed Genma. The Uzumaki bounded into the arena and approached Shikamaru and Tamari, saying, "That was a good match, Shikamaru, Tamari-san." Naruto surveyed the area and thought, well, that was a long fight and still the Teme ain't here. Oh, well, better congratulate them. Tamari hurriedly said, "Thank you, Naruto-san," and made her way to the stairs. "You noticed too, huh?" Shikamaru asserted gravely. "Yeah, Tamari is the only one of the group that is fighting except Gaara is a nervous wreck." Tamari just confirmed it, something is going on here. That and look in the middle of the stands in the corner of the third row. "What are the Anbu Black Ops doing here?" asked Shikamaru, looking up at the stands. "I have no idea. Well, I actually do. Have you ever heard of Orochimaru?" "Yeah, one of the Sannin, but he is an S-rank criminal. He's back. We fought him back in the Forest of Death. He was disguised as a Kunoichi. Apparently, he wants to destroy Konoha and he wants Sasuke for some reason. Troublesome Uchiha, and I thought you caused too much trouble. If that is true, then maybe Suna and Otto are connected, they maybe plan to invade. It makes sense, our guard is down because of the exam and Suna is one of our allies. Wait, how do you know that Orochimaru is with Otto? The village is new and very small, meaning Orochimaru just now established it. Second, we overheard the sound team trying to find you. They mentioned that Orochimaru wanted them to test Sasuke's strength. Third, nobody thinks that Otto is a threat to them. Alright, Shikamaru, should we tell the genin about it? No, it will only cause panic. You are the most level-headed out of all of us besides me. The audience had to cover their eyes as the leaves began to twist around abruptly. Naruto laughed. Funny, you're late as always, Kakashi. Sensei. Never figured that Sasuke would inherit your tardiness though. When the Uzumaki turned around, he saw that Sasuke and Kakashi were standing side by side. So Dobi, what's with the get-up? I should ask you, never thought that you would wear spandex, are you slowly converting to the power of youth, Sasuke-chan? HMPH, no matter, you still haven't changed. Naruto grabbed Shikamaru and vanished in a whirlpool of glittering ice, saying, yeah, just don't get killed. I still gotta kick your ass. When Naruto left, Sasuke snarled, but he turned to face Gaara at the stairs. The next match, Sabaku no Gaara vs Sasuke Uchiha, begin. Alright, you ask for it, Sasuke said. With haste, he pulled out 2 shuriken and hurled them at Gaara. While performing a Suna Bunshin, the shuriken was caught by the Suna Jinchuriki's unwavering defense. Although Sasuke took his time charging at Gaara, the Suna Bunshin's torso rushed forward to confront the Uchiha. The Suna Bunshin flung his own shuriken at Sasuke as he leapt forward in midair. The Uchiha kicked at the Suna Bunshin's crossed arms and was compelled to return the shuriken. Sasuke slammed his wrist into Suna Bunshin's neck and slammed his palms on the ground to get himself upright as the arms blasted off. As the sand trickled over the Uchiha's wrist, the stunned clone began to grin. The Suna Bunshin's head was blasted into dust by the Uchiha's swift palm strike. Another wall was put up to stop Sasuke's attack as he hurried through to reach Gaara. But Sasuke grinned and Lee's eyes widened in shock. Fast, just like him. Sasuke drew his fist back and slugged Gaara in the face, cracking his Tsunayoroi and sending the insane boy to the ground. Gaara's eyes followed suit as Sasuke appeared abruptly behind him. He is just as fast as Lee's starting speed and his taijutsu, Lee finished his sensei, inadvertently saying, is the same as mine. Guy was shocked. In the meantime, Hana and Sume were seated next to Naruto and Shikamaru in the stands. Damn, I was a bit off, sorry, Shikamaru. Hana smiled and said, nice of you to join us, Naruto-kun. The woman known as Kiba, who now looked like a younger Sume, attempted to hide from Naruto and Shikamaru's eyes. Hello, Hana. Chan. Sume. Sama, and wait a second, is that Kiba? Naruto laughed loudly and went on, oh, wow, ain't that a bitch? I knew you two were going to punish him, but this just takes the cake. As he walked away, Shikamaru remarked, damn, this is disturbing, I am going to find Shoji and Ino. Naruto inquired inquisitively, so how many guys have hit on Kiba-chan? So far, about 150, most of them were civilians, Sume stated. Mother. Kiba's voice was feminine. What? You're like the second daughter that I always wanted, plus it is my job to embarrass you. Naruto looked intently at Kiba and said, Kiba, now do you understand? Kiba glared at Naruto, but his power caused him to wilt under his intense glare and whimper inwardly. This is what women have to deal with from perverts and or persistent males like you used to be. Also, since you will be a woman for 1 more month. Also, I am giving you a warning. Avoid Sasuke at all cost because he likes strong women and you fit his description well. Naruto went to the stands to watch Sasuke and Gaara battle after Kiba gave him a slow nod. Naruto pondered, so Sensei had to use Lee's speed to get past Gaara. No doubt he had to use the Sharingan to visualize Lee's speed. So that is your armor, come on, I will rip it off. Sasuke sped through Gaara, but the sand tried to stop him from the front. He veered behind him and twisted through the sand to kick Gaara away. This was his first move into the Goken stance. What's wrong, is that it? Taunted Sasuke. Don't get cocky now, Sasuke, Kakashi thought. Sasuke circled Gaara, stepped inside his guard, and kicked Gaara in the chin before grabbing his shirt and bringing him closer to his persona to knee him in the chest. Sasuke, you are a genius beyond imagination. It took me years to reach that speed, but just in only a month, you were able to reach it. Looking at Sasuke, who was panting with effort, Lee pondered, but to keep up at that kind of movement requires a lot of strength. Kankuro was thinking, what are you going to do, Gaara? The Suna no Yoroi uses a lot of chakra, you know you can't use for long. Guy responded, what kind of training did you put him through? Replied, Sasuke had Lee's taijutsu before, so that is why I had trained him in Lee's taijutsu as well. Since he knew Lee and seen his taijutsu in action, he was able to master the style. It was hard work. Yeah, Shikamaru remembered, hard work for a mere copycat. But just with my taijutsu, it is not enough, Lee reflected. Guy pondered, Kakashi, what are you up to? You saw the battle between Lee and Gaara, so you should know that taijutsu will not be enough to defeat him, so why did you have Sasuke focus on taijutsu? The Uchiha rushed forward to stop Gaara as soon as his sand began to encircle him. The sand globe grew spikes to stop Sasuke's attack, and when he punched the sand, his fist suffered from bleeding. The Uchiha's right leg was gashed, and his cheek was cut. Using all of that sand to protect himself, that it gets so hard when it packed like that, so this is an absolute defense. He fell back as warm blood ran down his leg. A third eye soon materialized, hovering over the side of the sand globe as Gaara sat down and focused while reciting a mantra. This is bad, Tamari thought, because Gaara intends to use that jutsu. As he wiped the blood from his cheek, Sasuke's expression changed from one of shock to a grin. The Uchiha advanced and kicked the shell, which bounced back. As I thought, it is no good trying to use taijutsu against it, since I can't see what he is up to, since he is hiding in there. It is a perfect opportunity to test out my new jutsu, since it takes a lot of time too. After releasing a button on the black spiral device on his arm, Sasuke leapt onto the balcony and adhered to the wall using chakra. Guy's eyes widened as he knelt down and said, so that is why you did that? Huh? Sakura asked. They all turned to see Naruto coming toward them when a familiar voice said, Kakashi. Sensei had Sasuke focus on taijutsu and speed since the ninjutsu that he is about to use requires a lot of speed. Hey, Naruto, congratulations on your match today, Ino replied. Thanks, Ino. Hello, Sensei, I assume you taught him that jutsu. Yes, I did. Says Guy. You didn't, according to Kakashi, I did. What jutsu is that? Inquired Ino. Kakashi responded, it is my original jutsu that I made when I was 12, the lightning blade, the Reikiri. Naruto replied, yeah, but this Reikiri sounds different, this one sounds like chirping birds. Kakashi responded, I didn't teach him Reikiri, Sasuke doesn't have enough chakra to use it, so I taught him the predecessor of the Reikiri. White electricity burned on Sasuke's hand as he flipped through hand signals. Kakashi stated, after all, he is a lot like I used to be. Sasuke charged down towards Gaara's small sand globe, and Naruto thought, I just hope he changes out of that attitude, or I seriously have to kick his ass. In his special sparkling ice shunshin, Naruto vanished, saying, well, I will be going to visit Haku. Chan, Yane. It is incredible, you can see the chakra in his hand, Ino was thinking. Yes, I am going to tear off his head and then crack it open so the brain can spill out. Oh, the head. Then tons of blood will flow out. You can have it all, mother. Kyahahaha, aren't I such a good boy? Mother, I am always a good boy. Yeah, let's do it. Mother, I will be watching, Gaara was saying to himself inside the sand globe. Moaning, Guy said, a simple stab. What? Ino asked. Guy clarified, it's a technique created solely for assassination. The speed of the stab and the large amount of chakra concentrated to create the heightened flesh combined makes the sound of chirping birds. Sakura responded, so if it is not called the Reikari, then what is it? As soon as Guy finished speaking, Sasuke broke through Gaara's defense. The jutsu is called Chidori. No way. Has Gaara's defense been breached? Kankuro asked. According to Tamari, that is impossible. Guy stated, since the speed of the user and the amount of concentrated chakra focused in one arm, then it becomes like a sword. If any other user were able to use this, they would have experienced tunnel vision. But the Sharingan helps this matter, which is why only Sasuke is able to use this jutsu to its full potential. Lee reflected, I see, I wouldn't be able to run at that speed straight at my opponent, because it is easier to make a counterattack and I don't possess the Sharingan to see the counter. I'm jealous of you, Sasuke. My sense of superiority came when I defeated you since your body couldn't keep up with my speed, but now you have that speed including the Sharingan. Said Sasuke, I got you now, Sabaku no Gaara. What is this warm stuff? Mother, what did, uwaa? It's my blood. My blood? Gaara inquired inside the globe. Naruto instantly realized that Gaara was using the demon's chakra when they felt a chill go up their spine. Gaara screamed once more as Sasuke pulled his arm back, revealing an odd-looking arm with blue veins running across it. Sasuke felt something crushing his arm and had to use the Chidori to free himself. As Kankuro thought, there is no mistake, it's his arm, he became terrified. What is that? Guy inquired. Did he attain his complete form? Kankuro whispered. Sasuke looked inside the hole and gasped when he saw an eye glaring at him. It was amber with an inverted four-pointed star with 4 dots in a square. Like fashion. Tamari whispered back, I don't know, it looks like Uchiha wounded him, this has never happened before. I am getting chills just from the memories from the first time I saw it. I couldn't eat for weeks after seeing that thing. Kankuro was filled with dread. What's this feeling? Genma asked as his body began to tremble. The sphere then began to shatter, revealing Gaara gripping his right shoulder. I knew it, the cocoon was broken before he could transform fully. Tamari thought. Sasuke was thinking, no, it wasn't those eyes, what was that thing that was looking at me earlier? Abruptly, the audience began to nod off and feathers began to fall. Naruto entered Haku and Hinata's room just minutes before the invasion began. Hey, Haku. Chan, Hinata. Chan. Did you like the fight? Haku chuckled. I enjoyed it, though I never knew a Hyuga could change into so many shades of red at once. Hinata blushed and said, Naruto-kun. The Jinchuriki grinned and said, I am sure that Hinata-chan can show you. Her face flushed as he planted a kiss on her forehead. Hinata giggled a little and gestured for Naruto to approach, saying, I kept my promise, your cousin has been set straight and I loosened the ice pick up his ass by kicking his ass. After he complied, Hinata made the audacious decision to fully attack Naruto's lips. Surprised, the Uzumaki returned the kiss, and Haku grinned as she watched. Strawberries with a hint of vanilla. You have been practicing with Haku-chan, huh? It was taking me a while to build up my courage and get used to kissing Haku-chan, Hinata said, blushing as she nodded docilely. I was right to have Haku be near you. You are hardly stuttering, you are a bit more confident and make me want another kiss from you. He returned the kiss and then parted ways, but that will have to wait a while. Haku, what is Hinata's condition? She is in almost pristine condition, but she shouldn't move that much to damage her organs. Why? Because Suna and Otto will be invading Konoha today. Hinata exclaimed, but Suna is our ally. Why would they do such a thing? It's the perfect cover, plus most of Suna missions were sent to us. I need you to go with Haku. She will protect you when it happens. What will you do? Haku asked. I will have to fight and defeat Gaara. He is a Jinchuriki, a demon container, like me. What? Inquired Hinata. Yeah, Gaara holds the Ichibi no Shukaku, but whoever sealed the damn thing did a fucked up job, plus I have a strong feeling that he lived the same life as mine, only worse. That is the main reason that he seems insane. So, that means that Sasuke-san will be killed if you don't stop him. That also means that if he is pushed to the edge, he can release the demon within him. I have to stop him before that happens, Naruto said, nodding silently. Hinata replied, then go, but come back in one piece. I just got you and I will bring you back and kill you myself if you die. The Uzumaki grinned and said, thanks, Hinata. I will be back. Naruto then declared, it has begun, Konoha, prepare, for glory, after hearing the explosion. Haku and Naruto parted ways, and when she saw the destruction approaching, she leapt out with Hinata on her back. Hinata warned, Haku. Chan. Soon a ninja at your right, 3 o'clock. Glancing out of her peripheral vision, the Ice Princess threw Senbon at their necks, striking their points to induce death. One of the sound ninjas suddenly approached her and said, well, what is this, a Hyuga girl and a princess, you will be perfect for my slaves. Not a chance, Hyouten. Saparinta. Say, Haku grabbed her sword from her side as Hinata glared at him. As she did so, she gathered Hyouten chakra in her mouth and spit out ice shards, which caused the sound ninja to dodge a little until he slowed down and a few of them struck him, causing the shards to sting his body. He screamed in agony when one managed to strike his eye. When Hinata turned off her Byakugan to avoid seeing the aftermath, Haku leapt over and sliced him from the waist down before moving forward. When she finally arrived at the academy, she saw a familiar face. It was Iruka. Sensei, she exclaimed. Iruka asked, Haku. Chan? Hinata. Chan? The former Zabuza apprentice said, can you please take care of Hinata for me? I will need to get back in the fray. As he was given Hinata, Iruka exclaimed, sure, I will take good care of her, Haku, go, and led the academy students to the Hokage monuments for protection. Then, in a flash of glistening ice, Haku emerged in the center of the stadium, and almost instantly after that, she was encircled by a number of enemy ninja. She grinned and exclaimed, Hyouten. Hyo Bunshin Deibakuha. Her body erupted into ice shards and started to emit a faint, unsettling blue glow, which killed or maimed nearby ninja. With Oathkeeper and Oblivion in hand, Naruto sprinted out of the hallway, slaughtering Oto ninja one after another. Finding Shikamaru was his top priority, and he discovered the Nara on the ground close to where Ino, Choji, and Sakura were. He was shocked to find the Haruno awake, and the Jinchuriki swiftly decapitated him as an Oto ninja was about to murder her from behind. He looked at her, a little blood on the side of his cheek, and said, you know, flinching and covering your eyes are not going to make people that want and were trained to kill you stop. Naruto, Sakura nodded, and Naruto returned to the battle. You're welcome. Now stay down until we clear the area a bit. After kicking one of the sand ninja in the face, he leapt from it and flew over the heads of the Oto group, which was encircling two Chunin who had not been given names. Naruto slammed his sword points into the ground and exclaimed, Hyouten. Hyorin, as an ice ring materialized beneath the Oto ninja's position. The ninja shrugged and blinked as they moved menacingly, only to break apart like a shattered ice sculpture. The Chunin said, thanks, Uzumaki. The Jinchuriki then exclaimed, Tuketsu Ryu. Kuroi Fuchi. He swung through the area, cutting a group of men before silently sheathing the swords with a ring. You are welcome. Try not to get surrounded again by moving erratically, it works. If someone had touched the men he had cut, they would have found themselves completely cold. Instead, they fell to the ground into the darkness. According to the explanation for the Dark Abyss move, Naruto made a cut that allowed Hyouten chakra to enter the body. Cold air swiftly circulated throughout the body, causing the heart to beat slowly before stopping, which allowed the victim to pass away painlessly in the Black Abyss. Naruto, said Kakashi. While hurling a senbon into the throat of an enemy ninja, Naruto remarked, yeah, Kaka. Sensei, what do you need? As he sent 3 kunai into one ninja's leg and 2 heads, Kakashi explained, Sasuke has gone in pursuit of Gaara and his team. I am going to need you to retrieve him along with Shikamaru. One of my trackers will be going with you. I am coming too, Sakura said from where she was standing. No, Sakura, it is too dangerous, plus you don't have anything to contribute to this task, Naruto replied. Then again, both of you are his teammates, maybe talking to him will do it. Fine, but the only way that Sasuke is going to listen is if someone beats him into unconsciousness. Kakashi responded, this is an A-rank mission, just like the one with Zabuza-san. Kachiyose no jutsu, he said, cutting his finger and flipping through hand signals. He slammed his hand on an unconscious person's back, and a tiny pug sat down. Sakura exclaimed in surprise, so the last person is a little dog? Don't call me a cute little dog. My name is Pakun, the pug responded. Sakura, don't say anything. Let's go, Shikamaru, wake up. I know your ass ain't sleeping. Sakura opened her mouth to speak, but Naruto interrupted. Pakun kindly bit Shikamaru's ankle to help him open his eyes, causing him to yell in agony. I didn't want to get involved, besides who cares about Sasuke? Besides Ino and this banshee here, and the council, yay, they do. Naruto stabbed his sword and remarked, Hyoden. Hyorin. The wall froze, and Naruto kicked it, creating a huge, perfect circle hole in it. I personally could give two shits about that guy, but it is a mission and unfortunately he is part of the village. Now let's go. Naruto said, let's go. Shino, you coming? When Shino showed up, he said, of course. Thank you for allowing me. Shino nodded, and the 5 ninja left the hole as Naruto grinned and said, now we wouldn't want you to miss all the fun. Did you resupply your colony? Guy responded, do you think that they will be alright? Kakashi responded, yes, they will. Pakun and Naruto will keep them safe if they are in too deep. The Hokage, meanwhile, was engaged in combat with Orochimaru behind a barrier that the Sound 4 had constructed. Sarutobi said, so, Orochimaru, you have come. Yes, finally the third will die here in his own home. Orochimaru laughed as he threw away the case-cage robes, commenting, and you have your funeral robes on already? Saves the village the trouble to dress you when you are dead. Sarutobi sighed as he removed his Hokage robes to reveal his battle armor. We will see, we better put up a barrier just in case things get a little messy, the 4-armed man said in response to his fellow soldiers. The 3 of them exclaimed, right, and then moved to erect a barrier until a projectile of ice emerged from the earth. Orochimaru and Sarutobi yelled, what the? Someone yelled, Hyoden. Hyoryu no Jutsu. The barrier was circled and attacked by a winged ice dragon. So Haku came out to play, Seems that she used that jutsu. Naruto grinned in another direction. Who are you? Demanded Orochimaru. I'm Haku Uzumaki. You must be the snake pedophile Naruto-kun was talking about. He is right, you are one ugly motherfucker. I will teach you to make a fool out of me, Ninpo. Senichashu. Orochimaru growled as Sarutobi suppressed a laugh. Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Sarutobi intervened, destroying the snakes and forcing Orochimaru to switch with a mud clone he had previously created. Leave Orochimaru to me, Haku. Chan. Try to disable the barrier. Haku gave a nod and went after Jirobo, who was the closest. Using a water summoning scroll, she exclaimed, Ninpo. Dagoran Hiranmaru. The air around her froze as the dragon materialized, roared loudly, and then flapped its wings to descend to Hirobo's position. Fortunately, the barrier that encircled him kept him safe, but it was broken when Haku stabbed her sword into the momentarily cool barrier to stab Jirobo in the shoulder. Saken exclaimed, shit, as the Anbu engaged the other 3. As she avoided a Jirobo shoulder strike, Haku reflected, it is fortunate that Naruto instructed me to use a Hyo Bunshin to protect Hinata. Haku. Chan? Flashed back, I need you to protect Hokage. Gigi.san, to Naruto. Why, doesn't Hinata, Chan need protection as well? Yeah, but you can use the Hyo Bunshin to protect her, since its duration can last for about an hour and it can take more hits than the Kage Bunshin. The reason is that I know that Orochimaru has a vendetta against Gigi because he was his sensei. I will need you to go in the building that the booth will be at in the arena because that cowardly snake pedophile will not play fair at all. Alright. Naruto.kun, you are in the way. Die. Jirobo yelled as the flashback came to an end. He then threw a punch, which Haku sidestepped to counter with a jutsu. Hyoden. Kori no Heian. He barely used a Kawarimi with the closest object, which had to be Tayuya, but she muttered as an ice shard appeared in her hand and she stabbed him in the kidney. Tayuya coughed up blood as she held her side, saying, Jirobo, you fat son of a bitch. She collapsed, and Haku caught her before she fell to the ground, face forward. Tayuya and Haku were both shocked, but the ice princess switched upwards to hit her side, rendering her helpless to fight, and fortunately, the ice shard didn't nick any vital organs. As she dropped into the hole and started to heal the girl, she thought angrily, damn it. She is losing a lot of blood, I need to move her somewhere safe and quickly. I am going to kill that bastard, Jirobo, that is his name. As Sasuke fled towards Gaara in the forest, Kankuro stopped him, saying, HMPH, you two will not stop me from fighting him. Kankuro pulled out his Kugutsu, but a kunai was hurled at him. Would you mind if we attended the party? Naruto inquired. As he fled, Sasuke exclaimed, good, Dobi, you can handle him for me. Sasuke.kun. Wait. Do something, Naruto. Baka, don't just stand there. You see, Shino, can you handle these two by yourself? Naruto said, this is why I told you to stay with Kakashi, you are totally useless, damn. Yeah, hopefully I can buy some time for Shikamaru to come and help me considering he should be done with stalling those sound ninja. The two departed, but Kankuro attempted to stop them until Shino threw a kunai at him. Don't ignore me. If there is something I hate, it is to be ignored. Okay, good luck. Come on, Sakura. Let's get Uchiha, before he kills himself. I am a member of the Aburame clan. Our policy is to never underestimate our opponents no matter how small they are and to fight with our full strength, Shino said, slowly moving his Kakaichu bugs all over his body as he pulled the strap and the bandages fell to reveal Karasu, clicking menacingly. With a growl, Kankuro said, bring them on. When the Aburame heir stepped back to watch the blade sink into the ground in front of him, Kankuro pushed Karasu in Shino's direction and, with a flick of his fingers, a hidden blade in its wrist appeared, shocking Shino. Shino looked at the blade and noticed that the surrounding area turned a light purple. The blade is laced with poison. He was thinking, I must be careful for any more surprises. Shino ducked the next concealed blade in Kankuro's puppet's left wrist and ducked into the trees for cover as Kankuro manipulated his puppet to attack him once more. It's no use. While the Aburame sat in silence, only able to hear the puppet's incessant clicking and chattering, he had the puppet follow Shino into the brush. Shino threw two kunai at the puppet to stop it, and the puppet poofed to reveal a log as Kankuro located him and sent Karasu after him, activating his ribbed blades in the puppet. Kawarimi. Then where is the, oh, shit, Shino said. He then looked down and jumped up in the air to avoid it, but Karasu followed. Hey, you are making this way too easy. Kankuro said softly from his position as he twitched his middle and ring fingers. The puppet's mouth opened to shoot out two small knives, which struck Shino in the shoulder and torso squarely, causing Kankuro to pump his fist in the air. That did it. The clone gave Kankuro the one finger salute as Shino abruptly vanished into a swarm of Kakaichu bugs, causing Kankuro to yell in surprise and rage. Huh? Once more, those bugs? Kankuro felt a presence behind him, and his eyes widened. He turned just in time to see Shino punch him, but the young puppet master quickly ducked and moved away. So you created a bug clone and sneaked up behind, he yelled, very astute. I can tell that your strength is long range, not close combat, Shino said. It's really that easy. Additionally, controlling that little puppet of yours requires all of your chakra and attention, which leaves your defenses exposed. Thanks for the tip, but I'm just getting started, said Kankuro with a sly smile. You're in for a real treat if you believe that's the extent of my lethal ninjutsu. Karasu is capable of much more than you have yet to see. He has been cautious thus far. Shino backed up in shock as tiny purple balls of poison fog were hurled at him by Kankuro, who had reactivated his chakra strings and forced Karasu to open his elbow joints. Shino jumped away from the smoke and then felt weak, saying, damn, must have inhaled some of the poison smoke. The assailant waits for the poison to start working while hiding. It appears that I will be a little late to assist you because I have to finish this battle quickly, Naruto. The poison is slowly spreading through his system, now is time to end this. Kankuro grinned as he saw Shino running to the tree for cover, panting heavily from the effects of the poison. The puppet sprang forward and approached from behind, activating its hidden blade. Shino turned around and was slashed by Karasu, but the Aburame turned out to be another bug clone. As Kankuro tensed up, looking for the Aburame, he thought, these damn bugs, he should even be moving with that poison in his body. Then he discovered him, hiding under the tree branch, and exclaimed, ah, there you are. Let me end your suffering. Kankuro flicked his fingers, but the puppet squealed and resisted his orders. What's happening? What's wrong with it? He pondered. Then he saw that some bugs were scuttling in and out of the joints, which prevented it from moving effectively enough to kill Shino. Replied Shino, it's no use. You can't move it now, I ordered the bugs to jam every one of its joints. Kankuro reasoned, that was his goal, he wanted me to attack him in order to stop Karasu from moving. I forgot that those creepy crawlies consume chakra, and now they're pursuing my chakra strings, which are guiding them directly to me. In order to deceive Shino about his whereabouts, Kankuro broke his connection and threw it, causing the chakra strings to flicker in all directions. He severed the strings himself, damn, so close, Shino thought, raising his eyebrows. Following the Aburame's departure, Kankuro severed the head and said, what a sucker, he doesn't know that I can re-establish connections to my puppet quickly, which is why I am an expert puppeteer and, so what if you took out Karasu's body? I don't need it since every part of him is a lethal weapon. The big needle dripping with poison was visible when Karasu's mouth opened. Looks like you underestimated me, Bug Boy for the last time, That poison is enough to knock out an elephant, you're finished. The needlehead abruptly stopped just inches above Shino's forehead and fell to the ground as he gritted his teeth and faced it directly. What? When Kankuro felt something crawling on his hand, he looked down to see that his hand was covered in beetles. His beetles. They are eating the chakra strings right at the source, Kankuro said, starting to think. As the bugs gradually covered his body, Kankuro screamed and broke his cover, saying, "But, I don't understand. I made sure to cut the strings before they could find me." To answer your query, Shino said, you were so preoccupied with the beetles in front of you that you failed to notice those coming up behind you. They had been moving toward the beacon on your headband the entire time. Kankuro uttered, "Tamai," said Shino, "when I swung at you earlier, I purposefully missed to plant a beetle on your headband, a female beetle, which lets out pheromones so the males can pick up the scent and converge on it like a homing beacon." With his headband up, Kankuro said, "So this beetle on my hite.8 is a..." The Aburame knelt down and went to Kankuro to search his body for the antidote and took it. He sat against the tree trunk and waited, knowing that he could not fight because of the trace elements of the poison in his body and because Kankuro was his prisoner. Shino replied, "Correct, a female beetle." "Damn it, Uchiha. Sensei told us to retrieve you before you get yourself killed by Gaara," Naruto and Sakura said as they arrived at Sasuke once more, this time facing Tamari. "Before I break every single bone in your body and drag you back to Konoha myself, get your ass over here." "Stop talking, Dobi," said Sasuke. "No matter what you or Sakura say, I will fight Gaara. This is my battle, don't interfere." He flung Tamari at Naruto and ran to Gaara's position. The Jinchuriki growled out and caught Tamari. "Damn it, I'm going to murder that idiot." Naruto yelled, "Haruno. Get that ass moving," as Sakura continued to stare at Sasuke as he moved away. "HMPH, you let Sasuke go rather than attempting to stop him. You have the audacity to order me to do something." The boy with the Hyeten snorted in disgust as Sakura flushed in shame. "You will not escape and murder my brother. I will stop you." A figure appeared between Naruto and Tamari, saying, "Naruto-san, I want you to go. That Gaara figure is getting more unstable by the minute and I fear that Uchiha Kid will not last against him." Tamari yelled, "I don't care about him. I just want that bastard who is going to kill your brother." Naruto responded. "Natsumi-san. Why are you assisting us?" "Well, my mission was supposed to get the Uchiha's tainted seed in my body to pop out little babies," Naruto said worriedly. "Well, my mission was supposed to get the Uchiha's tainted seed in my body to pop out little babies." Sakura responded in disgust, causing Naruto to grimace and losing it as she attacked Natsumi in a fit of virtuous fangirl rage. "You will not get Sasuke. Kun's seed, it will be mine," Sakura said. After glancing at Sakura, Natsumi kicked her back into a tree, causing the pink-haired girl to hit her head on the tree and fall to the ground. The branches prevented her from falling, and Naruto palmed his face and said, "Idiot. As I was saying, I rather die, so I am defecting from Takigakure to join your village and I need your help." "For what purpose?" "I am going to need to join your clan, considering that Konoha will try to interrogate for Takigakure's secret location and means of strength." Kyuubi responded, "Kit, you better agree for now, I can feel more of Shukaku's chakra increasing by the minute." "Fine, I will ask more about this, but for now, I agree to the terms." According to Natsumi, "Excellent, now go. I am going to kill that Uchiha," and now Natsumi-san just plainly said I want to join the clan. The Jinchuriki nodded and followed Pakun to Gaara's position. "He is a spoiled brat, even I don't like him after seeing his attitude." When he realized that Sasuke was going to be permanently maimed, the Jinchuriki entered with a flying kick and yelled, "Boot to the head, you son of a bitch." Naruto said without emotion, "So this is what you have become, Gaara." The Jinchuriki looked at Sasuke's form and said, "I will deal with your ass later." Pakun then said, "Remember that I am not a battle type. I know, just make sure that Uchiha doesn't move, well, like he can move at this time anyway." Gaara drove right by him and yelled, "Die, Uchiha Sasuke." However, Naruto grabbed him by the tail, preventing him from reaching him. "Sorry, no one is going to die here. Now leave the Uchiha." Once more, Naruto flung him away from the Uchiha. As the Jinchuriki observed Gaara transforming further into the Shukaku form, he retorted, "Damn, you are uglier than before." Gaara shouted back, "Suna Shuriken." Flipping through hand signals, Naruto said, "Hyeten. Hyoheki." An ice wall appeared to block the sand shuriken aimed at him and then Naruto continued, "Hyeten. Hyoperankan." 100 ice rods struck with amazing force as they hurtled toward the Suna Jinchuriki. "Good, Uzumaki, good, hee. Make my life meaningful, Futon." Mugen Sajin Daitopa! Cried Gaara. Damn, mumbled Naruto, as the wind blew him back into the trees and smashed the ice wall. All right, the Jinchuriki said, coughing up blood from the side of his mouth. I am providing you with some practical experience. Bunshin no Jutsu Kage. When hundreds of clones seemed to encircle Gaara, Suna Jinchuriki was taken aback. Take this now. Go to work. Uzumaki Naruto Nissan combo, the boss yelled. You, Zu, Ma, Ki, Nissan Renden Naruto? The clones each punched Gaara after he was thrown into the air, causing him to fall to the forest floor. Naruto gasped in effort, ha, 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 damn, I am tired. Then the sand rose up to form the Ichibi no Shukaku with Gaara on top of his head. I hope he is permanently knocked out. Come on, son of a, when are you going to end the day? Yelled Naruto in exasperation. When I kill you. Now die, Sabaku Q. Gaara retorted. Sand rose to surround Naruto into Gaara's signature move, but Naruto flipped through hand signs in the little space. Kachiyose no Jutsu. Gamabunta emerged from a summoning plume. Well, what do you want, Gaki? I need some assistance with my little friend over there, the Toad Boss said. Naruto answered. According to Gamabunta, so the Shukaku, Oh, well, I suppose I can assist a little. Hold on, child. Gamabunta squatted and swung his sword in the air, saying, Gamadasuzan. The sword seized Shukaku's arm, severing it entirely. The toad thought, it took all my strength just to sever his arm. This is going to be a problem. As Gamabunta's sword flipped through the air to Shukaku's left. Gamabunta, exercise caution. Naruto cautioned, Sasuke and Pakun are over there. You got it. Gamabunta answered. Naruto Uzumaki, you really interest me, but this is the end, Gaara said, making a hand gesture. Niru no Jutsu Tanuki. Gaara's head bowed forward and Shukaku's dull eyes were filled with light. Wahoo! I'm out at last. Shukaku said, time to die, as he turned to face Gamabunta and Naruto. Fuden. Rankuden! He exclaimed, lifting his claw and hammering his stomach while taking a breath. Gamabunta leapt into the air to escape the blast, saying, Sweden. Tepodama. Gamabunta used his Tepodama to fire 3 consecutive blasts after Shukaku cancelled the water bullet with his air bullet, but he missed one, causing it to strike him in the stomach. Damn, he put a lot of chakra into it. Gamabunta muttered. Can I reach Gaara if you can get close enough to him? The Shukaku will come back if I can wake Gaara up. Yes, but unless we do a Kanbi Henge, I have nothing to hold him with. A hybrid, Henge? I got the ideal Henge, hee. Alright, Gamabunta. As he called forth his tenant's chakra, Naruto uttered those words. Naruto yelled, Henge, as Gamabunta charged at the Shukaku. The Henge of the Kyuubi was revealed by an orange claw and a plume of smoke. Kyuubi grinned and said, Hey, you do me justice, kid. Now kick Shukaku's ass. With delight. Naruto replied as Gamabunta grabbed some trees with his tails and flung them at the demon. But Shukaku blocked it with his sand, giving Gamabunta the opportunity to hold him. Go, kid. Gamabunta spoke softly. The sand attempted to stop Naruto as he leapt up on Shukaku's arm and ran in Gaara's direction, saying, like hell, I will let you stop me. Your wake. Up call is imminent. Gaara awoke when Naruto struck his head with his fist. No, I just left. Shukaku screamed out as the light faded from his eyes. Gaara said, you will die. Naruto answered, I'll do it like hell. He gave Gaara another fist, but it was stopped by his sand and the Kyuubi Jinchuriki said, damn it. His headbutt to Gaara caused Shukaku's body to collapse into sand. Gamabunta thought, hey, a simple headbutt, definitely Minato and Kushina's kid, something that she would do, as the Jinchurikis knelt on opposite trees. Well, I'd better leave. It appears that I've reached my breaking point, and he appears to be able to handle it. The Toad Boss vanished, taking his sword with him. After glaring at one another and panting, Naruto and Gaara jumped at one another and punched each other, but Naruto was the stronger of the two, and they both fell to the ground, with Naruto landing on the ground and Gaara landing on his back. What gives him his strength? No, I refuse to allow my existence to fade. Keep away from me, Gaara yelled. However, Naruto remarked, don't you think it hurts? The anguish of isolation? You and I are the same. I understand how you feel, so I know what it's like to be alone, but I persevered and found people I want to keep safe, and I will stop you if you try to destroy the people I love, even if it means killing you. Then, as Natsumi suddenly appeared next to Naruto, he said, go, take him, our battle is over, Suna ninjas. Kankuro and Tamari then leapt down to Gaara's position. He was shoved aside to witness a fireball being hurled at Naruto's former location. Jumping down, Sasuke exclaimed, "You'll give me your OWW. I should have expected that. Arigato, Natsumi-san." Naruto remarked after Pakun stepped forward and bit Sasuke's ankle, enabling Natsumi to knock out the Uchiha. "You're welcome, but we had better leave. Your village appears to have won," Natsumi said. "Yes," Naruto said, "let's go," as he made his way back to the village. "Karyu Enden, Kaden," Sarutobi shouted as he breathed out a stream of white fire at the revived first and second Hokages. Tobirama countered by shouting, "Sweden. Suijinheki." He spit out water, creating a wall of water that shielded Orochimaru and his brother. Sweden. Jutsu no Suiryuden. The water then took the shape of a dragon, and Sarutobi flipped through the hand signals, thinking, "Sensei hasn't changed at all." Doden. Doryuheki. He blocked the water dragon's charge by spitting out mud that solidified into a huge wall. The first Hokage jumped in the air with a flying kick, but Hiruzen quickly blocked it with his forearms, and Hashirama sped towards Sarutobi, who started to throw small fireballs at his former predecessor, but it had no effect. His power has not waned an inch at all. Tobirama abruptly took the elderly man down in the water, and he thought, "This is getting tough, dealing with you two at once," after Hashirama used the water to blind him and delivered two quick kicks to his face, followed by a punch to his jaw, sending him tumbling to meet his kick. Sarutobi scampered up the wall like his namesake, but Tobirama fired small water bullets to make the wall crumble. Soon after, he elbowed Tobirama in the gut to break his sensei's hold on his neck and planted both feet in his stomach, sending Tobirama into the depths and propelling him to the surface. After Sarutobi safely reached the bottom by jumping from falling rock to falling rock, the first Hokage made hand signals, saying, "Mokuton. Jukai Koden. Fuck me sideways. Kachiyose no Jutsu," muttered Sarutobi. A vast forest erupted from the roof, forcing Sarutobi to relocate as the trees reached out to seize him. With a sly grin, Orochimaru said, "You have finally been caught, sensei." "Kachiyose no Jutsu," he exclaimed as he struggled in the vine's grasps and attempted to move his hand to the nearby branch. "Enma, come on." Suddenly a huge monkey appeared, wearing a tiger pelt vest and a Konoha headband, its eyes narrowed as it said, "Orochimaru, huh? I told you, Sarutobi, that we ought to have killed when we had the opportunity. Enma, you don't have time to remind us of that day right now. We have work to do. Change to become the Konganui." "All right." With wide eyes, Orochimaru commanded, "Go. Keep that thing from changing." Hashirama and Tobirama lunged at Enma, but the monkey deftly sidestepped Tobirama's blow and slammed his fist through the trunk and into the back of the human's head. He then turned his attention to Hashirama, who kicked Enma, who blocked it and punched him in the face in return. Henge. A black and yellow staff flew towards Sarutobi as the monkey, freed from his natural bonds, yelled as he vanished in a white cloud of smoke. Orochimaru remarked, "I will let that one slide, things are starting to get interesting now." Sarutobi pressed his stomach, and the Kusanagi no Tsurugi emerged from his mouth. "Okay, I am ready," he said, assuming a stance with the Hokages on either side. In his staff form, Enma remarked, "That sword can still hurt me, Sarutobi, even though I am as hard as a diamond." "I know, Enma, let's go." Orochimaru was attacked by Sarutobi, who caused the pole to extend downward at him. The snake Sanin managed to avoid him, but Sarutobi pursued him and struck him repeatedly, which Orochimaru found difficult to avoid as he reflected, "Damn it, after all these years, the man still has a bit of fight in him, but he is old and weak." Tobirama tripped Hiruzen, but he corrected himself while sending a tag on his arm. The third Hokage ducked as Hashirama suddenly appeared behind him, sending a tag on his leg and knocking him away with his staff. "This is my opportunity," Orochimaru thought as he sprang at his former sensei. He gave him a left, then a right and jumped up to kick him away. Sarutobi fell to the ground and then Orochimaru stood over his unmoving body. "Come on, sensei, don't ruin my fun, you're still alive." "Go to hell, Orochimaru." Enma moved swiftly, sending his arm to Orochimaru's neck and breaking it with his firm grip, only to reveal that it was a Doden Cage Bunshin. Sarutobi grabbed his arms and used his legs to bring him down to his level, then swiftly launched his foot up to Orochimaru's face. Activating the seals to disable them, Sarutobi quickly discovered that they couldn't be killed by that. As he appeared, he slammed his foot into Orochimaru's chest and launched him away as the Hokages were about to converge. Therefore, it would appear that I would need to take action regarding the soul or else they would simply continue to regenerate. He pondered, I might be forced to defeat them by using the fourth jutsu. Tobarama then made the hand gesture, Sweden. Suirayuban. Ryuso, Hayaten. Orochimaru remarked, as small clusters of sharp ice spikes were hurled at Tobarama, which the Naidame had to avoid. Then she turned to Sarutobi and said, yes, I am back, are you okay, Hokage? Sama. I understand, kid, but you shouldn't be here because you don't understand what you're dealing with. You could be killed because those two were the village's previous Hokages. Hokage. Sama, we won't know until we try. Even though I might not be able to compete with them, I can at least help until more ninjas show up. You need all the assistance you can get because the Anbu is under pressure from the bodyguards. Enma remarked, she is right, Sarutobi. Those two can regenerate, the only way to get rid of them is to destroy their soul or possibly destroy those tags in their heads, but I can't get close to either one of them due to their teamwork. I see. Then let's try a different method, Haku said, biting her thumb. Jutsu no Kachiyose. A little purple dragon slowly emerged from a huge plume of smoke. What do you want this time, Kyoga? I don't. Wait, who are you? The dragon uttered those words. I am Haku Uzumaki, your new summoner. I would explain further, but we are in a battle and I could use your help. Haku remarked, using earth and fire would be essential to this battle, Spyro.san. The purple dragon gazed at the three men and said, I see then, fine. Then my name is Spyro, the son of Bahamut. I can control fire, lightning, ice, and earth. Are you ready? She asked, drawing her sword. All set. The Shodan Hokage flipped through hand signals as the girl and dragon charged at the two Hokages, saying, Mokuton. Mokasatsu Shibari no Jutsu. His right arm transformed into wood tendrils seeking to capture Haku, but Spyro stepped in. I got this one. The breath of a dragon. The Naidame then attacked Haku, who barely avoided the blow and slashed at Tobarama's cheek, which healed instantly, before the man stabbed her in the chest with the flat of her blade and was pushed back. Spyro spat out a stream of flames, burning the wood tendrils to a crisp. Sumatai Suigetsu. Tuketsu Ryu. Haku let out a cry as she zigzagged and stabbed the ground in front of Tobarama, causing the ground to instantly freeze around them and cover both of their feet, preventing them from moving. Then, the Naidame made one hand gesture, Hayaten. Isu Q. Bu. But Haku caught it and used her palm to drive her palm into his face. As expected, she formed a large ice cube in her hand and pushed it into Tobarama's head, but he blocked the blow with his forearm, completely freezing it. After kicking her away and punching her in the stomach from behind, the Naidame started to fade away and then resurfaced to give Haku body shots to weaken her. Then someone yelled, Rakery. The Naidame was about to be struck down by Kakashi's trademark jutsu when a loud cry erupted, but he managed to jump away in time. Hello, Haku. Chan, Kakashi. Senpai, arigato gozaimasu. With his characteristic eye smile, Kakashi said, no problem, I can't just let my student's wife get killed before her wedding and honeymoon. Then he became serious, saying, so we are up against the Naidame Hokage, The odds are now even, but my lightning techniques are bad for him and require a lot of chakra. Furthermore, his speed is flawless. I would have perished if I had arrived here in my current state. Although my ice jutsu is stronger than water, his jutsu are more powerful, Haku continued. I am a little faster and more resilient than normal ninja because of the Kyuubi's infusion of chakra. As anticipated from the Hokage, Haku, prepare yourself, he's coming. When he reached him first, the Naidame attempted to kick him, but Kakashi's Sharingan flipped him over and he thrust both feet into Tobarama's back, avoiding the kick. The Naidame then sped up toward Kakashi and Haku, who met his charge. With his eyes narrowed at the reanimating corpse, Kakashi said, it looks like we have to find a way to destroy that seal within his head to stop him from regenerating. Tobarama was hurled at Haku, who removed his head with her katana and the body fell to the ground. Haku, you can use your Hayaten to trap him and freeze his head while I divert his attention. That may actually work, let's try it. Raiden. Ikazuki Hakai. Kakashi said, flipping through hand signals. Tobarama had to jump away from the rising beams in order to avoid them after he slammed his hand down on the roof and sent lightning nature chakra into it, raising some of the wooden beams from the inside. Sweden. Suikoden. Doden. Doryuheki. A wall composed of bulldog sculptures appeared from the ground, blocking the Nidaime's water shark. Then the deceased Hokage turned to see Haku behind him and said, Tuketsu Ryu. Sumatai Suigetsu. Once more, Haku's feet and Tobarama's were trapped by the ice. Mazurapa, Sweden. Tobarama shouted mentally as he spat water in Haku's face. The force of the water was like a waterfall, breaking free from the ice and Haku was launched backwards. Hayaten. Hai Aisu. Tobirama ran at her and gradually started to freeze when she blew a chilly wind draft at him. Haku raised her sword and slashed downward, saying, "Shatter." Tobirama grinned. "I thank you, my child. Forgive me for doing such a terrible thing." The kunai in his head was frozen, and when Haku sliced his head, it was destroyed. Haku dropped to his knees and said, "No, Prob." The girl was so worn out from the fight that she was unable to finish her sentence, even though she had a lot of chakra from training and Kyuubi's minor enhancements. Kakashi grabbed her in his arms before she collapsed to the ground. "Kakashi, get Haku-chan out of here now and protect with your life," yelled Sarutobi. "Hello, Hokage. Sama. You have a lot of spunk, Haku. It is not every day that you could hold your ground against the Nidame for a few minutes. Now rest easy, Hokage. Sama will take care of the rest." The monkey reverted to its previous form and led Haku into the hole where Tayuya had been rendered unconscious. Sarutobi stepped on the blade after dodging a swipe from Orochimaru. Hashirama found himself in a challenging position with Spyro. He was extremely nimble and could not use his Mokuton to trap him at all because of Spyro's skill at controlling fire, and Orochimaru's attempt to free it only gave Sarutobi the opportunity to punch him in the face, sending him flying away. The dragon's whip. The young dragon seized him, his claw piercing his armor, and started using his back legs to strike at his torso, tearing into the armor as Spyro yelled and whipped his tail, striking at Hashirama's face. Recovering, Hashirama grabbed Spyro by the horns and tossed him aside, saying, "Mokuton. Jubaku Iso." Spyro was then trapped in a tree. Like Nest and Hashirama was about to pull Spyro into the ground, a kick met his face, dynamic entry. Guy leapt to the ground and sent Hashirama flying before yelling, "Dynamic action. Hello, dragon. My name is Might Guy, the sublime green beast of prey," he said, destroying Spyro's natural prison with a barrage of punches and kicks. Guy's eyes narrowed as Hashirama approached them, saying, "Thank you for releasing me. I am Spyro, Haku Uzumaki's new partner, holder of the dragon contract. How are we supposed to defeat him?" A kunai with a tag was thrust into his head by that snake guy. Spyro's purple eyes were fixed on the renegade Hokage. "We have to destroy it, but his head always regenerates in 15 seconds. I need you to give me that interval, Guy.san. I can give you that interval, but I will need some time to get enough power to get there." "Alright." Spyro used flames to distract Guy, who had his arms crossed, as Lee had done when he faced Gaara, and he zipped through the air while flapping his wings. First gate. Kaimon. Kai. Second gate. Kai. Humon. Gate 3. Simon. Kai. Showman at the fourth gate. Kai. Gate 5. Toman. Kai. As blue chakra swirled around him and green chakra encircled the man's body outline, his skin turned red and his pupils turned white. With his newfound strength, he sped toward Hashirama and started to press the attack, looking for a gap in the air as Hashirama blocked most of Guy's attacks and was flung around like a pinball. Guy then grabbed his hair and threw Hashirama in Spyro's direction. Spyro yelled, "Pyro Blitz!" as the purple dragon swirled down to meet Hashirama and slammed into him, sending him to the ground. He then flew up in the air before diving bombing into the roof, crushing Hashirama's skull as the remnants started to form his head. As he ran toward Hashirama's fallen body, he blew fire, and the flames engulfed him. Spyro sighed with relief that the battle was over and vanished back into his realm as the smoke cleared and Hashirama Senju vanished, while Guy collapsed to the ground, his body somewhat ripped apart, and uttered the words, "Maybe using the gates was a bad idea." With Enma in his hand, Sarutobi addressed his former pupil, saying, "Looks like it is you and me, Orochimaru. Your army is destroyed, your Jinchuriki is defeated, and your plan to destroy Konoha with me is no longer in place. Old man, I can still kill you, Futon. Daitopa." After using Enma as a pole to extend and topple the wall, Sarutobi released it and descended with a concealed senbon in his hand. He then proceeded to stab Orochimaru in the arms, causing his arms to turn purple in agony for his pupil. "Old man, what the devil did you do to my arms?" He let out a painful cry. "What?" smirked Sarutobi. "You didn't think I hadn't given Tsunade some of her medical knowledge? You won't be able to use your arms for a few days after I stabbed those senbon covered in a poison that causes inflammation in the lymph nodes in your arms. However, I also added another poison to the situation, which will permanently destroy your nerves in your arms. Your ambition is over now." Orochimaru. "Sama!" Saken yelled and seized Orochimaru, saying, "Let's go. We must withdraw for the time being." Orochimaru was seized by Saken and Jirobo to depart, but Kitamaru diverted their attention so they could get away. Damn, I couldn't kill him, said Sarutobi. No, you are too old to care for him, and you wasted too much energy fighting your old teachers. He is still, in a way, young and kicking thanks to his jutsu. Perhaps we ought to let Jiraiya handle this. Maybe you are right. The best thing I can do is teach most of my jutsu to Jiraiya like I should have done. Sarutobi was left to assess the damage while Enma vanished back to his realm. The Anbu then approached him and said, Lord Hokage, one of our shinobi, preferably the girl named Haku Uzumaki, has captured one of the bodyguards that made the barrier that imprisoned you earlier. Keep her under wraps. I don't want the council to know about this. Send for Haku when she wakes up. She will be the person the prisoner is most likely to talk to. Hello. Sarutobi reflected. Well, the worst is over. But I am afraid that Orochimaru will be back to try and destroy Konoha once again, then to kill me probably as well. The Anbu said this before vanishing to assist around the village. When Naruto awoke, his heart was beeping non-stop and the ceiling was white. The sun was beating on his face, so he turned to his left and moaned. Natsumi was watching him, and she said, You're finally awake, Uzumaki-san. I guess I am, the groggy Jinchuriki said as he got up to greet her. I have never seen anyone recover that fast, well, except one person, the former Taki ninja remarked. May I ask whom? Her name is Fu. She guards one of Taki's greatest treasures. Trained to kill on sight except the leader, she barely goes out and our people ignored her blatantly for some reason. It will be interesting to meet her, he thought, this Fu must be a Jinchuriki. After pulling out the patches on his chest and leaving through the door, Naruto remarked, Well, we better go see the Hokage, so we can get you to establish as a Konoha ninja. Hokage's office. To Naruto's surprise, the only building that was undamaged was the Hokage building, so he and Natsumi went to the roof. Hiruzen was standing and examining yesterday's damage. Hello, Naruto, I would like to thank you for dealing with Shukaku and sending your wife to help me. Because of that, we may have a lead on Orochimaru's whereabouts as well as his plans. Now who is your friend? You remember her, Oji-san. This is Natsumi, hailing from Takigakure, and she seeks refuge in Konohagakure to be protected from the council as well as avoiding performing her mission. Ah, Natsumi-san, I remember. If you don't mind my asking, pray tell what this mission that you had to perform was? To impregnate myself with the Uchiha's seed. Matter of fact, I was supposed to gain your trust, so I could stay here until I got close to the Uchiha, but after seeing how the Uchiha treat his teammates and fellow comrades have prompted me to rethink my standings in this. I have no family since all of them have been consumed by the flames of my bloodline, making it easier for me to disappear. With a grandfatherly smile, Hiruzen turned around and said, I see. He then approached her and put his hands on her shoulder. Let's see if we can't make you one of us. I am to guess that you will be living with Naruto. Sarutobi nodded and said, Well, that is good, but I am afraid that his apartment will not hold the three of you, so in turn, I will have to relocate you to Naruto's new home, which was owned by your parents. Naruto asked, My parents? But you said, I know that I told you that I never met them and only heard them in name, but that is false and I only did it to protect you from the enemies that would have come to kill you as a baby, which is why I decided only to tell you when you reached the rank of Chunin. But, wait a second, I am a Chunin? Of course, you not only showed great skill and quick decisiveness on your battle with Neji-san, you also defeated the trump card of Orochimaru's invasion and indirectly saved my life. Now before I give your jacket, I have to reveal your parents to you. The Hokage exhaled deeply and said, I will start with the most difficult one. Your father, in all of his life, he didn't want to place this burden on you and wished that there could have been another way. Your father is Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage, the one who sealed the Kyuubi inside of you. My father, is the Yondaime? Naruto and Natsumi exclaimed in shock. I knew, so he is the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi, but to be the son of the Kiroi Senku as well? The girl asked, turning to face Naruto. Yes, now his very name struck fear in Iwagakure's hearts and still does to this day. If I had revealed your name to the world, Iwa agents would come to kidnap you to make you a breeding stock to recreate the Hiraishin or worse, kill you, which is why I gave you your mother's maiden name. She was Kushina Uzumaki, the red-hot blooded habanero and also the second Jinchuriki for the Kyuubi as well. Naruto yelled, What? I thought I was the first. No, you are the third. You see, your mother's clan, the Uzumaki clan, was famous for their sealing techniques and uncanny talent for kenjutsu. The first Jinchuriki, Mito Uzumaki, was married to Hashirama Senju, the Shoden Hokage, as a further peace treaty between the clans. When Konoha was established, we put the sign of their clan on everything, every jacket carries it. Sarutobi looked up to see Minato's face-carved monument. After that, Several villages conspired to take down Uzumaki and they succeeded. Now your clan may have its members scattered across the countries, but your mother, the heiress, was sent here to become the next Jinchuriki. She met Minato and they fell in love and had you, but suddenly something happened with her and I am guessing that Orochimaru had found some way to free the Kyuubi. So Minato was forced with the decision to let innocent people die or sacrifice his own life to save it. Sarutobi glanced at Naruto. The obvious result of his decision is you, Naruto, when the Kyuubi was under the influence of Orochimaru's genjutsu. The result of it was your father and mother impaled on his claw by accident since he wasn't in control of himself. They loved you very much, Naruto, so much that they gave their lives for you to live, only with the regret of not being able to take care of you, and I am sorry that I had to keep this from you for so long. G.San, can I have some time to think? Naruto said softly. The boy nodded and performed his signature Hyo Shunshin, while Natsumi followed with her flame. Take as much time as you want, Naruto, you have earned it and much more. Sarutobi said, just remember that we will have the funeral in 3 days. I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or curse, the boy said as he entered Naruto's apartment and lay face down on his bed. My mother is the second Jinchuriki, and my father is the Yondaime. Neither of this is your fault, Naruto, it is mine. I should have been smarter to avoid Orochimaru's ploy. I underestimated him because he was a human. Kyuubi, this is not your fault. I don't blame you for this because you were not in control of yourself. Orochimaru made you go into a feral rage because of that genjutsu. Now I just don't know how to react to this, considering that I now know that my parents did love me so much to sacrifice their lives like any parent would, and I am glad for that. Then he laughed. Besides, I wouldn't be able to have Haku and Hinata as both of my wives in an awesome bloodline if dad didn't seal you inside me. Naruto, you. The connection ended when Natsumi knocked on the door and entered the room. The Kyuubi laughed softly and said, you are too forgiving for a boy at your age, don't ever change, Naruto. The Jinchuriki responded, you got it, Kyuubi. Hey, Natsumi, sorry that you had to see all of that. Sorry. What I am wondering is why you are screaming out at everyone in sight that has wronged you how they should be at your feet, begging for mercy or lost trust in everyone except those very close to you. What good would that do? The village would avoid me in fear just like they did when I was a child, and losing trust in them would make me emotionless and cold. Besides, if there is one person in the village that acknowledges, accepts me for who I am and not what I hold, then I will be alright. Naruto turned to smile at her and said, thanks, Natsumi-san. Natsumi touched his shoulder and said, well, then Naruto Uzumaki, you have found another. The aspect of you being a Jinchuriki just made your strength go higher as well as my respect for you. The foul-mouthed redhead woke up groggily to discover that she was in a hospital rather than Orochimaru's underground base, along with Haku and Tayuya. After discovering that she was shackled to her bed when she moved her arm, she started to look around before spotting her roommate. That girl, she thought to herself, and then vivid memories of Jirobo using her as a stand-in as well as the black-haired girl saving her life from certain death and danger returned to her. That son of a bitch, and Orochimaru. Sama, no, Orochimaru abandoned me. Then Haku stirred and her brown eyes fluttered open. She clasped her mark and attempted to draw its tainted chakra, but felt nothing. She laughed bitterly and said to herself, he even cut off the chakra from my mark, looks like I am dead to him either way. You're awake, are you okay? She said, turning to face Tayuya. Yes, but I won't be for long. What? That fucking pedophile abandoned me. He cut off his chakra from my curse seal and now I have only about a week to live unless I show him that I am alive, but I doubt I will go back easily now that I am here and I want to kill that fat-ass Jirobo. When Jirobo was brought up, Haku's eyes narrowed. I will make sure that you will get your revenge, Tayuya-san. I could tell that you guys weren't friends, but a comrade should never use another fellow comrade as a shield. Then she considered, I wonder if there was a possible way to replace that mark with Naruto's, she said, I think I may have a way to help you. If you manage to kill the snake bastard or bring him here to force him to activate it again, I doubt it. Haku responded, just listen, what if we will replace the mark with something more potent? Tayuya replied, I have no fucking clue, I am not an expert on seals. From what Naruto told me about that mark and the information from Enko-san, that seal uses yokai and a heavy amount of chakra to dilute it from harming the victim. By using that seal, you inhibit some demonic traits. If we replace it with a stronger yokai, it could override it and save you from destruction. But where the hell in Konoha can we find a person like that? Your Yondaime killed the motherfucking Kyuubi practically. Wrong. But there is a law that refrains me from telling you the truth and you are still considered an enemy ninja. But you have no place to go at all since that snake bastard abandoned you. In order to get you out of those cuffs, you will need to tell me everything about Orochimaru. With a sly smile, Tayuya said, so what the fuck do you want to know? To Haku. A crash followed a familiar chirping of birds elsewhere, and we saw two large holes in a large rock and Sasuke Uchiha hard at work. He had flashbacks of the epic battle between Naruto and Gaara. Just how strong have you become, Naruto? Up until you meet her, you were just a buffoon and barely had any skill at all, but now, he thought. But now, you are stronger than me. How did you get so strong and what is your secret? He said, flipping through 3 hand signs while holding the light blue ball of electricity. He slammed his hand into the rock, completely destroying it into tiny pebbles, and his hand ached. It must be those swords and that woman of yours. If I can somehow seduce her to tell me the secret of your training and bypass that stupid pure of heart thing on your swords, I will be stronger than you and will be able to take on Itachi. The Uchiha was thinking as he held his hand. Unaware that his curse seal was acting strangely once more, the ninja nodded to himself at a plan that would never fail. In an attempt to persuade Jiraiya that he was the sole candidate to be Hokage, Sarutobi met with the elders. Jiraiya, you have the qualifications of being Hokage. You are the strongest out of the Sannin and have a certain charisma when it comes to politics. Koharu said, to which the Sannin responded, I refuse. I don't like being cramped up in an office all day, signing stupid paperwork. I prefer my freedom over the position any day. Besides, I know someone better than me. With curiosity, Homura inquired, who do you have in mind, Jiraiya? Tsunade. Sarutobi responded, Tsunade, huh? But you know that she is hard to find. Even if you find her, Jiraiya, you wouldn't be able to convince it all to come back to the village because it is a constant reminder of what she lost. Yes, but we both know someone with the power to change anyone by meeting him. Sarutobi replied, but it's risky due to that organization coming after him. Jiraiya responded, I will look after him. No doubt that he could probably hold his own against them for a few minutes, but they will not get to him with me around. I can easily handle 2 S-class criminals by myself. The Sandaime responded, then take Naruto and find him, but first, we must rebuild the village and put up a good front to the other villages to show that we are not weak. I also received word that Suna has been deceived by Orochimaru. They have found out that he killed the Yondaime Kazekage. Are you sure that this is a good idea, Hiruzen? Asked Koharu. The Kyuubi Jinchuriki is a valuable asset to this village. Homura responded, I concur. If Akatsuki captures him, we would lose a powerful force as well as a good ninja. Jiraiya nodded and walked away. I trust Jiraiya's judgment and isolating him to the village will not help. The Akatsuki are made up of 10 S-rank criminals who, together, can take down a village of this size just to find the Biju hosts, and I will make sure that this will not happen. Send word to Kumogakure. I believe that it is time to notify them of this problem before it gets out of hand. Sarutobi responded. After 3 days, all of the ninja in the area dressed in black robes stood on the Hokage building's roof and silently grieved for the dead. A white rose was placed on the desk by each ninja as they approached the table. When they got home, Naruto hugged Haku and said, thank you for saving the old man, Haku-chan. I am just glad that you were not hurt. Haku grinned and kissed him, saying, I think it will be even harder to lose me now that I am your wife, Naruto-kun. I need you to do something for me, she said gravely. What is it? You see, when I was fighting one of Orochimaru's bodyguards, he used one of his teammates as a substitution when I made to kill him. She is alive and willing to cooperate with information on him, but the thing is that she has only 6 days to live now. How do we save her then? If we can use the Kyuubi's chakra to override the cursed seal on her body, we could replace it and keep her alive. Hey, Kyuubi, is that possible? Naruto asked himself. Yes, technically you are a demon, so you can use the mate mark to override that cursed seal on her neck. What are the repercussions of it? She will be bonded with you like Haku is on an intimate level. Damn it, or you could kill her and resurrect her like you did with Haku. Plan A. Plan A is good, Naruto replied. I can do it, but the downside is that your freedom will be much the same what you had with Orochimaru's, the brunette replied. If I could deal with Snake. Fucker's shit, then I am pretty sure I can deal with this. Besides, it is not like I have much of a choice in the matter, now do I? Naruto approached her and channeled his tenant's yokai into his body, turning his blue eyes red. For what it is worth, I am sorry for the pain, she said, pulling on her collar to reveal the 3 bars mark on his shoulder blade. Tayuya gasped when he sank his teeth into her shoulder, and as more pain shot up her body, she clung to the railing. Naruto held her against his chest while she screamed into it when the pain became unbearable. A tattoo of a bipedal fox playing a flute with foxfire surrounding her replaced the 3-bar mask. Haku approached Naruto to squeeze her hand as she whispered, you did the right thing, and I am pretty sure that maybe she just might come to love you for that. Chiyuya lay back unconscious from the pain. Naruto replied, "Thanks, Haku. You better stay here and keep an eye on her, plus no doubt that some people may come to resent her for being affiliated with Sound if they find out." "Right," Haku nodded. "I have finally found you, Naruto. Figures that you would be here to check up on your wife after what happened yesterday. By the way, young lady, thanks for saving the old man." The Toad Sannin said, "I need you for a mission. We are going to retrieve the candidate for the 5th Hokage." Naruto nodded and turned to face Haku, saying, "Haku, when Chiyuya recovers, she will be staying along with us in the Namikaze compound." The two Uzumakis turned to see Jiraiya in the doorway. "Namikaze compound? But isn't that, yes, it is the 4th Hokage's home, he was my father. I always wondered why the 4th chose me and now I know, because he knew that I could handle the pressure because I am his son." Haku gave him a kiss and said, "You never cease to amaze me." Naruto grinned broadly at her as she let out a little gasp. "If I get kisses like that, I don't want to stop amazing you over and over again. Keep talking like that, I may go even further." Naruto blushed at that remark, and Jiraiya responded, "Oh, don't stop on my account." "Shut up, Arrow." Senin, also Haku, that tacky ninja in the exams, Natsumi-san, is also staying with us, under our protection. I will be back. She gave him a nod, and Naruto and Jiraiya went to the Namikaze compound to gather his belongings in preparation for leaving the village in search of the next Godime Hokage. North wall of Konoha. Two figures with straw hats and paper streamers on the sides stood atop the wall. Their cloaks were black with red clouds and had high collars. The shorter one was silent and had black hair, but you couldn't see his face. The tall one had odd blue skin and a shark-like face. The tall, shark man said to his partner, "Well, it seemed that it is still untouched. Are you feeling nostalgic?" He raised his eyes to see Konoha clearly, and the shorter one replied, "No, I don't feel nostalgic at all." His eyes showed a fully grown Sharingan, proving that he was the one who killed off the Uchiha clan on his own. Tea restaurant. The tall man said, "It's been a long journey, wanna have a drink before we begin our search?" The Sharingan wielder accepted and entered the establishment, cautious of Kakashi Hatake, the Jonin who was displayed on the wall. When Asuma and Kurenai arrived together, the one-eyed Cyclops was already waiting on his cherished pupil. When they noticed Kakashi, they nodded, and Asuma said, "What are you doing here, Kakashi? I thought you hated sweets." The Jonin saw that the shorter man's hand on the cup tightened slightly, and Kakashi said, "I am here to pick up a few things and I'm waiting for Sasuke." "It is surprising that you are on time for once in your life, Kakashi," said Sasuke as he approached. According to Kakashi, this tends to happen on a rare chance. When he saw that no one was around, Sasuke remarked, "I hate sweets." After giving Asuma and Kurenai a nod, Kakashi vanished behind the enigmatic pair. "You two don't look like the locals. Why are you here?" said the chain smoker after Asuma and Kurenai stopped them. "Long time no see, Asuma-san, Kurenai-san," the shorter man said. "You seem to know us. Were you a ninja from here?" Asuma replied. Asuma said, You are, Uchiha Itachi." The shorter man remained silent, but he lifted his hat to reveal his Sharingan eyes. "I guess I have to introduce myself too since you two know Itachi. I am Kisame Hoshigaki," the blue man said. Kurenai replied, "You are a missing nin from Kiri, also responsible for killing some of Kiri's daimyos and the destruction of neighboring countries. Why are two S-rank criminals here?" Asuma responded, "Judging by the outfit, they have a purpose, but what is it? Why are you back here? You know after that incident you caused, you would be killed on sight." Itachi responded, "Asuma, Kurenai, get out of our way, I don't want to kill you." Removing the bandaged sword from his back, Kisame slammed it into the concrete, shattering it. "Can I kill him? He is so annoying," Kisame said. Itachi spoke in a monotone voice, "It seems that they will not let us leave, just try to keep it down or you will attract more flies." Kisame hefted his sword and swung it downward, smiling. As Kurenai made hand signals to vanish like a ghost, Asuma pulled out his trench knives and stopped the assault. As he struggled with Samahata, Asuma thought, "He can easily pressure me with the tip of his sword, what power?" Itachi's Sharingan eyes widened with a sheen, and he thought, "This is Genjutsu." Kisame yanked the sword back, a toothy smile spreading across his mouth. The sword on Asuma's shoulder tore at her arm, revealing its bandages. Kisame replied, "My Samahata doesn't cut, it shaved people to pieces." Holding his arm, Asuma remarked, "Damn, Kurenai, you were pretty slow." Itachi was suddenly wedged against a tree, and Kurenai emerged from inside, holding a kunai. When Kurenai was suddenly trapped in her own genjutsu, Itachi remarked, "Nice genjutsu, but that level is useless against me." Kurenai thought, "This is counter jutsu. It's over." Kurenai bit her lip to escape the genjutsu as Itachi allowed a kunai to fall into his grasp. She dodged his swipe right away, but she had to cross her arms to lessen the force of his foot as it came hurtling toward her. Upon her launch into the lake, Asuma exclaimed, "Kurenai." Asuma had to avoid Kisame's blows as he said, "You don't have time to worry about others." Itachi then emerged behind Kurenai and said, "As expected from you, Kurenai, but..." The voice said, "Sorry, but the person that it is over for, is you, Itachi." When Asuma noticed a gap, he pointed his knuckle blades at Kisame's head. Kisame cocked his head to the side, but his cheek got sliced. "What?" Kisame exclaimed, startled. He then saw that Asuma's blades were coated in chakra. Kisame then flipped through hand signals and exclaimed, "Suiden. Suikoden." The jutsu was launched, but it was negated when another one was thrown in its path. Itachi said, "Hitaki Kakashi." The real one blocked Kisame's jutsu, while the one behind him was a cage bunshin. Kisame laughed. "Ah, the copy ninja, I heard that you and Zabuza-chan got in a fight. A good opportunity to shred you into ribbons." Itachi yelled, "Kisame, stop messing around. You take too long in your fights, which will make us bound to be found out by Anbu. Don't forget our mission." "What is this mission?" Kakashi inquired. "According to Itachi, we are looking for something." "According to Kakashi, and that is, if I tell you, then I have to kill you. Unlike Kisame, I won't waste time." Itachi's hand suddenly emerged from the shuriken, and Kakashi yelled, "Suiden. Suijinheki." Kakashi was shielded from Itachi's Suikoden by a wall of water. "His jutsu is too fast. My eyes can't keep up with me. From the looks of it, he used the shuriken as bait and used Suiden to attack my legs." The man with one eye pondered. "Your eye is highly remarkable, Kakashi," Itachi said. "Am I right?" A cage bunshin of Itachi then materialized behind Kakashi to stab him with a kunai. "Cage bunshin?" Kurenai remarked, "His jutsu is very fast." When Kakashi abruptly changed into water, Kisame remarked, "Mizu bunshin, he knows our techniques very well." "Nice one, Kakashi," Kurenai said. Kurenai was seized by Kakashi, who said, "Get down, this is the cage bunshin." "What?" Kurenai thought. Asuma hurried to the water to check on the two and Itachi said, "It is impressive that you can use the Sharingan to that extent even though you are not of our blood, but still it doesn't suit you at all, Kakashi. Do you know why we are known as the strongest? I will show you the true power of the Sharingan." He then whispered, "Bunshin Deibakuha." The clone exploded, and Asuma yelled, "Kakashi, Kurenai." "It couldn't be," Kakashi said, his eyes widening. "You two, close your eyes and don't open them. Only those with Sharingan can counter his technique," he yelled. Kakashi was crucified to a cross, and Itachi clones appeared holding katanas. Itachi stated, "That is correct, only someone with Sharingan can provide resistance to the jutsu. But only someone with Uchiha blood has a chance of defeating this genjutsu Tsukuyomi." The clones immediately proceeded to shank Kakashi, and after the Tsukuyomi was over, Kakashi fell to his knees. Itachi said, "Within this realm, space, time, everything is under my control. For the next 72 hours, you will be pierced by these katana repeatedly." Then Kisame said, "Ho? That jutsu is to break people's spirits, but you are still alive. However, Itachi, that eye is dangerous to you as well." Itachi and Kakashi were both panting heavily. "Are you after Sasuke?" asked Kakashi. "No, we are after the Yondaime's legacy," Itachi remarked. "Naruto," Kurenai said. "What do you want with the Kyuubi?" asked Kakashi. "That is none of your concern. Kisame, take them," said the renegade Uchiha. The shout, "Konoha Goriki Senpu," and a kick sent Kisame flying as he charged at them. "Who are you?" Kisame said as he stood up. "The Leaf's noble beast, made a guy," the man said. Kisame said, "You are a funny guy. What is with the outfit? Are you an exotic beast?" The warning from Itachi was, "Don't take him lightly." Guy grabbed the man as Kakashi collapsed from exhaustion, and Asuma remarked, "Guy, don't look in Itachi's eyes." Guy replied, "I know that. You can open your eyes, just focus on his feet, that is how I trained to beat the Sharingan." He presented Kakashi to Kurenai. "Kurenai, take Kakashi to the hospital. Asuma and I will take them." "You're brave," Kisame said. Itachi responded, "Kisame, forget about it, we didn't come here to start a war. Plus I sense Anbu are on their way." In the meantime, a frustrated Uchiha was training diligently as usual in the forest while Kisame said, "And I finally got excited, that is too bad." The two fled using the Shunshin no Jutsu. How much more do I need to grow? Naruto has thunderous power and he never showed it at the academy. Where has he been hiding that power? How can I get that power, and why is my Sharingan unable to copy his jutsu? The Uchiha pondered. Looks like it is time to pay a visit to Haku, he thought to himself. As he approached the hospital, he unintentionally ran into an Inuzuka that he thought might be familiar. She angrily yelled, "Watch where you are going." To which Sasuke retorted, "Pardon me, but I think you were the one who bumped into me first." Sasuke sneered, "Look, I don't have the time to mince words with you, so I will be leaving, just don't get in my way." The girl turned to face him and asked, "What was that? Do you want to start something with me?" After pushing him, the girl said, "You are making time, training area 14, at 5, don't be late." "Fine, I guess I can get a little sparring in place of just throwing kunai all over the damn place, I will be there." Sasuke thought, funny, she looks familiar, and I never caught her name. I guess I can ask when I am done with my business in the hospital. The female Inuzuka smirked and stalked off to the hospital. "Excuse me, miss, but where can I find Haku Uzumaki?" he asked, approaching the receptionist's desk. "She should be in room 274, the receptionist said, grinning at the Uchiha as she examined the charts. Sasuke nodded his gratitude and proceeded to the room's stairs. Haku looked up from tending to Tayuya and said, "Ah, Sasuke-san, do you need something from me?" Sasuke replied, "Yes, can I talk to you in private?" The female Uzumaki left the room and turned to face Sasuke. "So what is it that you want from me, Sasuke-san?" she asked. "That is simple, I would like for you to go on a date with me." Haku's gaze widened. "I am flattered, Sasuke, but I am going out with Naruto, you must understand this." Sasuke responded, "I don't understand this, you don't have to feel indebted to him because he saved your life." "That is not how it is, although I do feel indebted that he saved my life, there are other reasons that played into this. I love Naruto with all of my heart and soul, there is nothing that can change that, and he has shown me that the same love. If you want to ask someone out, you could ask Sakura." "That weakling of a girl." "No, I only go for strong women such as yourself, and most of the Chunin and Jonin Kunoichi like Kurenai-san. As Haku returned to the room, Sasuke thought, "Well, looks like the nice guy part is out of the picture. I guess I have to resort to trickery now. Well, I am sorry, Sasuke-san, but I am off the market and will not be on it again anytime soon. Now if you will excuse me, I will be going to work now." "So, Ero, Senin, what do you plan on teaching me now?" As they were leaving Konohagakure's gates, Jiraiya turned to Naruto and said, "It's time that I trained you in one of the jutsus that your father was known for. The Rasengan." "Rasengan? Asked Naruto. Jiraiya took the time to call forth his chakra, and a light blue orb of spinning chakra materialized in his hand. "Yes, to perfectly get this jutsu down. We are going to divide into 3 steps. Once you mastered all of them, the end result will be this." "So that is the Rasengan." Naruto pondered, though it looks like it won't do damage on the outside, it can cause internal damage. Unlike the Chidori or Reikiri, which basically pierces through an opponent due to the chakra and the lightning element, the Rasengan is more like a grinder due to the swirling chakra. "I will teach you the first step once we get into town," Jiraiya said, drawing Naruto out of his reverie. Naruto nodded and asked, "So who is the candidate for the 5th Hokage?" Jiraiya smiled and went on, "Her name is Tsunade, my former teammate aside from Orochimaru and the Slug Sannin. She is very beautiful and practically royalty." "How so?" "Her grandfather is Hashirama Senju, the 1st Hokage, making Tobirama her uncle. She is a combat medic, the great healer, and she is able to analyze poisons quickly to make a cure. Her abilities were essential in the Second Shinobi World War, but the downside is that she had developed a chronic habit of gambling and her luck sucks. Her nickname for that is the legendary Sucker."
That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this great story. See you in the next one.